is. There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England. This is the real world, and you need to wake up.
You dare challenge Megamind?
This town is big enough for 2 supervillains.
Oh, you're a villain, all right. Just not a super one.
Yeah? What's the difference?
Presentation!
We had done this same silly charade our entire lives. I tried to get my mind off how I was feeling, but I just felt stuck. I began to realize, despite all my powers, each and every citizen of Metro had something I didn't. A choice. Ever since I can remember, I've always had to be what the city wanted me to be. But what about what I wanted to do? Then it suddenly hit me. I do have a choice. I can be whatever I want to be. Who said this hero thing had to be a lifetime gig? You can't just quit either. That's when I got the brilliant idea to fit my dad. Copper drains my power.
Your weakness is copper?
Once your death ray hit, I've never felt so alive. So I borrowed a prop from a nearby nursing school. Metro Man was finally dead. And Music Man was born.
Music Man?
That way I could keep my logo.
Because of
Come
what?
again?
I was finally free to get in touch with my true power. Weaving lyrical magic. Check this out. I have eyes that can see right through lead.
You're horrible.
Granted, you have talent, but there's a madman out there destroying your city.
Ugh. How could you do this? The people of the city relied on you and you deserted them. You left us in the hands of him. No offense.
No, I'm with you.
Look, we need your help. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm done. You know, little buddy, there's a yin for every yang. If there's bad, good will rise up against it. It's taken me a long time to find my calling. Now it's about time you find yours.
Sorry, before I play the recorded show I put on today, I forgot to add a part for that. I really wanted to play that right there. And it was mainly just for, like the beginning where he says to be a supervillain. It's presentation, but it's really to be a superhero or a supervillain. You need intelligence, basically. You can have all the powers you want in the world, but if you can't use your mind, your intelligence, your wisdom correctly, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you can go up against the strongest man in the world, but if you can outsmart that strongest man, you can use their talent, their power against them. And the strongest, the toughest, the smartest will fall if you can outthink them. And I wanted to play the thing about the yin and the yang. Whenever there's bad, good rises up against it, because that's kind of what I'm talking about here today. About a few different things. And I'm going to be playing a clip from a book that I think everybody should check out, especially if they think anybody's casting against them, or if there's energies, entities, thought forms, anything like that casting against them. It's going to be the book from Jason Miller, I think, anyways. Protections, Reversal Magic, I believe, is the book I'm playing. Jason Miller, Protection, Reversal Magic. But anyways, so let's get on with the show already. Hope you enjoy. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's a ceremonial witch back here. Yes, I'm talking low because there's people in the next room, and I don't necessarily like to do my show in front of people or when I think people could be listening, so you'll have to bear with the low tone and the mumbling. However, new headset, so the thing actually picks up the sound pretty darn good. But yeah, a bunch of things I want to get into today. A lot of different topics and subjects, but they all basically go around the same concept. But truth be told, I truly think, I mean, your opinion's your own, but I think that I have a knack, a talent, a gift for as above, so below, basically finding correspondences to everything. So whenever I start talking about what is magic, and from a scientific standpoint to a spiritual standpoint, into talking about, what Birch talks about on his show, how he goes into Trump and how us as witches have to group together and all that, I can, bring that back into the same concept of what is magic, and, I'll find the correspondences to that, and that's basically what I'm going to do here today. So anyways, if you tuned in, thank you, appreciate it. I am very grateful for everybody tuning in and listening to the sound of my voice right now. It actually truly means a lot to me. So, I might just start off reading because, well, truth be told, a lot of stuff going on the last few days with me. Under the weather is what I wrote on the last upload I did, which is kind of just a 3-hour audio recording from YouTube that I re-uploaded on here for people to hear. It's free on YouTube, so what the fuck? I don't think it'll piss off anybody on here. That being said, I'm going to play some audio of a book, Protection and Reversal, Magic by Jason Miller, that I've been checking out the last few days. Being that we're in the waiting part of the moon phase, we're almost at the new moon. Truth be told, I don't even know what it is. I want to say it's the next couple of days, the new moon. But I know we're towards the end. And because I am synced up with nature, I'm not necessarily, if you watch Birch, he tells you to take the reins, not the ride. Well, because I'm just above the neophyte and into the first grade, towards the end of the grade, but of the ceremonial magic curriculum, I am not really at the stage where I am on the reins. I am going for the ride, which means I'm synced up with nature to the point where I can make my manifestations come true, as long as it's in line with my level of transformation, which I'll get into later. Which means financials and stuff like that can happen pretty easily, but maybe not so much on the healing magic front. I'm not necessarily transformed to that, and the reason I say that is because, well, why would I be able to perform healing magic on myself or anybody else, when I'm going to be a smoker or still drink or take in the amount of caffeine that I take in. That being said, the reason for the absence is 2 or 3-fold. Being that is the waning part of the moon, I already made it known that that's what I do. My month of magic consists of the first part of the moon phase. The waxing phase is bringing something towards myself, reprogramming my mind for something I want, and the waning phase is the thing I'm getting rid of. When you invoke, you must banish, and vice versa. So, being that I'm purging, getting rid of an addiction, which addiction is not always just a physical addiction like drugs, caffeine, smoking. To me, addiction is any habit you have that is not desirable. Habits are something we're trying to reprogram our mind to do. So if you don't want to make the term habit bad, because you want to make new habits in your mind that are going to benefit you. So making the word habit be a bad thing, it might fuck up your mind for wanting it to happen. Kind of like the way dieting, if you say you're on a diet, will fuck you up, because when you diet, you are trying not to take in as much food, and because the mind understands symbolism as its language, when the subconscious mind sees you not eating as much, it starts craving sweets. It starts craving fattening foods, because way back when, we didn't have much food when we were, using candles to light our house, and fires to heat our house when there's no electricity, and, especially up here in the north where it was winter all the time. Whenever it was coming for the winter, when we got the harvest, there would be some times before, when spring came around, before we started planting the food or whatever, we were getting pretty low on rations. When the body saw that, it knew it had to take in as much sweets as it can for the cold winter, whatever the case is. It's a primal thing. It's an instinctive thing. So when you use the word diet to try to lose weight, you're actually going to fuck with yourself a little bit. So that's why they tell you to eat little amounts but a lot in a day, so your body still sees you're taking in a lot. But by trying to starve your body when you're not used to it, you got to gradually do it so it's not a shock, because the subconscious mind sees all. But it's the same concept. But that's one of the things I want to talk about today, is the symbolism, the language of the subconscious mind. And anyways, being the waning part of the moon, purging stuff out of my body. So between that and the odd and strange things happening around my house, and different feelings and energies, weird and cool things I've been seeing happening, and how I went from being able to sleep a lot, and then I actually slept for like fucking 2 days, to not being able to sleep at all, and very strange patterns and random fights and different things. It's one of many things: pissing off spirits, nature spirits, whatever, curse, hexing, people listening to the show and not liking what I'm fucking saying or doing, or whatever the case may be. It could be even family members that aren't happy with me, or some of the people I recently started a job with not being very happy with me, thinking some shitty thoughts, and me not having certain protections up, or not thinking, or, not consecrating things, or going to temple as often as I was, because I wasn't feeling up to it, or too busy, or whatever the case was. Things can get in, things can slip by. So did I know what caused it? No. Do I know if it's the purge, what I'm trying to banish out of my life, creating the problems? Do I know if it's a curse or a hex or bad thoughts? I have no idea. But it doesn't matter. I prepare for all. So yeah, anyways. So like everything else I've told you guys about how I do my magics and all that, I don't just do one single thing. I don't just do one recording or one version of affirmations or one ritual. I do everything overlapping. I'm going to program water. I'm going to make my sigil, and I'm going to make affirmations with my statement of intent. I'm going to record those affirmations. I'm going to record the fucking first ritual I do for that. I'm going to perform that ritual in my head and at my altar. I'm going to play those affirmations for myself at night. I'm going to play them at my altar, where I'm programming that water, so that water can also hear the recordings over and over and over again. I'm going to put the sigil underneath the water that I'm programming. I'm going to carve onto that candle all the sigils, all my statements of intent. I'm going to put my subconscious mind in there. I might even make a hypnosis script if I'm banishing and invoking at the same time. I'm going to overlap everything. And the same goes for if I'm going to try some healing on somebody else, or I'm trying to banish something out of my house. So I didn't know, because the things, I'm not going to tell you what magics I was performing, because, even though I feel like I'm on the upswing and it's banished, it can still be affected. And I've told you guys stuff before, after I've, stated that I had a lot longer time off. Turned out that got changed. So once you get other people's minds focused on your magic, shit can get fucked up. Unless you're doing it intentionally to use their minds and they don't know about it, then that's different. But the point is, it didn't matter if I thought it was the purging or the banishing that I'm doing, or if I think it's a nature spirit, or people casting on me, or just people's thoughts, or all of the above. I'm going to assume it's all of the above, and I'm going to prepare and do everything as if it's all of the above. Meaning, if it's just a waning phase and when I'm purging out of my system, then I'm going to lighten the load. I'm going to do some things to lighten the effects on myself through magics, affirmations, and shit like that. But I'm also not going to say, oh no, I'm good, I got this, all my wards and protections are up, my egregores, my servitors are all in place, nobody can penetrate. No, I've actually stated my servitors and thought forms, my process was, which I've changed my process since then. But the point is, anybody who would be willing to cast on me, who is listening to my show, for whatever reason, might think of that as a challenge, just to try to get in here and fuck with me, because this hasn't been anything very serious, but it has fucked with me a bit. So either way, the point is, I prepare for everything. So I did have a couple rough. I did have. So I want to say the last 3 days were the roughest. Prior to that, I was just sensing and feeling as if things weren't right, but not really knowing or having concrete proof. But the last few days, it's like, okay, I can't see it just being the purge or the waning moon. Can't just see it being, the lack of energy, because the moon's waning and it's almost at the new moon. Basically, it goes until full, which is, from 0 to 50, and then from full to new is from 50 to death, basically. So the closer you get to that new moon, if you're in tune with nature, but you're not above that yet, you are within the cycle. Like I said, you can manifest things really well and banish things really well, but your energy and all that could also be affected by it. So is it just that? Maybe, maybe not. Is it people's what they're thinking about, directing towards me? Maybe, maybe not, but I prepared for it all. So what did I do? I went on Birch's channel, and I listened to all his videos over again about how to know if you're cursed, how to deal with curse, his protection, magic, videos about candles, and all of the above. Even though I already know all that information, I go over it all again anyways, just to get it in my head. Then I go to Freighter's channel, I look at the uncrossing, I look at the banishing entities videos over and over again, all these different videos. And then I go to my books, any books that I have that deal with this. So I go look in some of the Solomon books for some of the seals and different things for protections. I went to Okian magics, because archangels are huge when dealing with demons, basically, because there's certain demons out there that aren't as intense as people think they are, that are simply just there to give you a migraine, or simply just there to give you a headache, or different things like that. But as soon as they hear the name Gabriel or Archangel Michael, depending on which one, every one of these demons is easily scared off by an archangel, depending on the level of how much you've allowed that demon. I'm not really going to get in the nature of that just yet, because that's kind of debated, and even my view of that is kind of all over the place. I've got so many different opinions on what demons can actually be versus what I've learned they are, and go back and forth on that. So, but the point is, that's another reason for the banishings of the pentagram. Doing it out loud, doing it in your head is great, because everything starts in the mind. Demons are in your mind just as much as they're around you in the actual physical. This is where they're supposed to be. They serve a purpose. People can say demons are bad all day long, but once you banish your demons or overcome your demons, you are a hell of a lot stronger and better prepared for this fucking realm in this world. So they serve a purpose. But if you don't know how to deal with them, then yeah, it could be a fucking scary thing. But a little bit of fucking reading up on it, and you could easily change your perception. And this is coming from a guy, myself, who was scared of spirits most of his life. Scared of dealing with anything. My biggest fear, I'm still not crazy about bees, but when it came to irrational fears or fears in general, I'd jump off a building before I'd fucking go in a dark room where I knew there was a fucking ghost. You know what I mean? It's something I would never deal with, and now I like it. I'm okay in a dark room with just a fucking candle lit. I'm okay when I see things out of the corner of my eyes. And I actually start using my peripheral vision to try to see spirits. That's how much I've switched, but that was my biggest fear, was seeing spirits, dealing with spirits. And you can I'll take my word for that, but most of my family members will tell you, yeah, that was my biggest fear. But anyways, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with dealing with all that shit now, because I've prepared, I've learned, I've done my research, and I have my own opinion. I've opened up my mind, and once again, I changed the programming in my mind. I removed whatever was in there that was stunting my fear, which, I didn't go to a psychiatrist for, but through my own meditation and intuitive answers, I come to find that there were some things I seen as a child that I re-seen during meditations. Not the full thing, but a little bit of it, that what scared me enough to not want to see spirits or have this fear of spirits. And this is all just done through myself. So you can imagine how much a psychiatrist or a therapist could unlock if I was to choose that, but I didn't need to, because I was able to banish the old programming and put in the new program all on my own, to the point where I'm not fearful of spirits anymore. I'll go around the house at nighttime with fucking sage and ask for the spirits to come. if I didn't have family members here that, that could be, they don't believe in what I believe. So if there is something here that could harm them, then I don't want to be the reason they get harmed. So I'm not going to be careless or foolish in that sense. But I'm kind of off topic. But anyways, so I read the book over again, Jason Miller, Reversal and Protection Magic, or something to that extent, where he's got so many things that you can do for protecting your home, protecting yourself, protecting your family, all this old, new, so many things in there. It's such a great book. I'm going to play a lot of it on here, but I'm not going to have time to play the whole thing because I think I'm not even done half the book with what I recorded on here, and I think it's already an hour long. So if you don't want to listen to that, well, then when I'm done the talking, just shut off the thing. And once again, like always, anybody wants a copy of any of these books, just shoot me an email. I'll get to you and I'll send you one. I've done it for 2 people already, so the more people that want these books, the merrier. The more I can help, the happier I am. Which brings me to the next thing. In that book, he talks about how, practitioners can just offend, most of the time it's going to be just offending nature spirits. Sometimes breaking oaths that you don't even remember you've taken, because as people in occults, we take in so much information because, it's so new and fascinating to us that we can make promises to do stuff with spirit and, not keep that. And that could piss off a spirit to the point where some shitty shit happens to you. So, just making simple offerings. And for me, I don't know what it could have been. So I made candles to any beings, any people that I may have pissed off, offended, sending them love and wealth instead of recursing them or binding them. I fucking made offerings to the earth spirits, the fire spirits, the air spirits, the water spirits, all of them. Everything I think of that I could have offended, I gave a candle and incense to. That might not be available or easy for you to do, but if you can, fucking hit every avenue is all I'm trying to get at. If you think something is attacking you or something is happening and you don't know what it is, well, don't just assume it's one thing. If you have 3 ideas of what it could be that's affecting you, then hit every angle. Break it up into days or hours or whatever you have to do, but spend, 1 hour focusing on, okay, what people I piss off, okay, what spirits I piss off, okay, how am I going to ease up the waning part of the moon? That's what I did. I broke it down, and it's hopefully dealt with and over with, because I'm feeling 100% better, 100%. Truth be told, the last few days, all I wanted to do was drink, lay in bed, do absolutely nothing. And then when I tried to do that, I couldn't even fucking fall asleep. That was just, last night was unbearable. Up and down, up and down, up and down, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Energy, no energy. I want to do push-ups, but then I go to do push-ups to try to make myself tired, and I can't. Okay, I try to meditate. I can't fucking meditate. Couldn't even write anything down. I tried to record, I think 3 times, and I couldn't record a fucking thing. It's brutal. And I'm pretty good for fucking being able to record and just talk for fucking hours about this shit. And for some reason, the last 3 days, I couldn't do it. Like I said, I don't know what the cause was, but it is what it is, and it's dealt with, and I'm glad it's over. And to me, it doesn't matter what it was. I don't give a shit what it was. All I care is that I've hit every angle that I possibly think it can be, and it looks like it worked. I've got some direct results, I think, but I'm not going to mention them anyways, just in case. But yeah, so that's that. And just one more thing I want to hit on that was just, I used, I said I send them wealth and love and all that, but prior to doing that, I mean, if someone, let's say someone was attacking me or bad thoughts or whatever, even if it's not somebody intentionally doing it, because people can unintentionally harm you with their thoughts. Put enough fear or hate, emotion into a thought, and you can create a fucking thought form. I mean, that's how we create these servitors, to protect us, to get us money and do all these things. This is in the books. We write it down. We put energy into it. We put extra energy into it. But you can create a low-level thought form that is in your house that mimics an entity or a spirit or a ghost, whatever you want to call it. And it's basically the same thing. Thoughts, spirits, or ghosts, they're all basically in the same category, and they're as easy. They're like the air we breathe. You can take one in that easy as just breathing around you or accepting a thought. There's a reason that there's a saying, when you go by a graveyard, you hold your breath. There's a reason those graveyards have iron fucking fences around them. Spirit doesn't like iron. That is known throughout all witchcraft, all the cult. Iron nails, the coffin nails are made out of iron. You put an iron nail in your doorway so spirit can't go through. Understand there's a reason for these things, and that's why. But point is, you can put enough fear, emotion into a negative thought and create your own thought form around the house. And yeah, it's up to you to fucking banish that. Do whatever it takes to get rid of it, because you may have created it and it may be tormenting you, but whenever you banish it or get over it, if you don't do it properly or cleanse your house, that could still affect the people that are in your house. If you have children, especially really young children, or even teenagers, and your wife, your animals, your pets, your plants, it can affect it all. It's a bad energy. It's a negative energy that does not belong there, and you made it, so it's your job to get rid of it. So personal responsibility, because if you're going to complain about karma, what the fuck, I'm doing all these good things and this and that, nothing good's happening to me. Well, if you're creating negative thought forms that are affecting people and making them negative and go out and making other people negative, then you don't deserve good karma for that. Take care of your shit you fucking created. And if you didn't know that was possible, well, now you do, and fix the fucking problem. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, okay. Last thing before I move on to a new topic. If you're looking at uncrossing rituals and all that, do your research. There's a lot of different ones out there. Simple baths if you're a Christian, or like you don't mind using the Bible, using the Psalms work. And the book I just told you about, it's got its own version of different baths for reversing, removing, or cleansing, to put different elements and stuff in there. Oh yeah, the one thing I wanted to hit on, I fucking forgot to hit, or I was trying to get at. Fuck, I just lost my train of thought again. Son of a bitch. Well, that sucks. But anyways, I highly recommend doing. Let's say you can't find all the herbs and you don't have all the candles, because you need like 6 candles or 5 candles for an uncrossing. Use what you got. Here's what you got. Dedicate what you got. Do what you know intuitively that'll work. You still have to visualize the negativity going off you into the water. Use your salts in your bath. Salt and water, the number one most potent thing to get rid of fucking energy, to bring energy back to neutral. You got negative energy on you, in you, within you. Soak yourself in that bath for a while. Let the sucking salts do its work. It'll bring you back to neutral. I mean, it doesn't have to be more complicated than that. And if you want to add more, vinegar was good for removing negative energy. I think it was, anyways. And eucalyptus was for reversing. And then protection, with cinnamon. I put all fucking 3 in mine. You know what I mean? I wanted a little bit of each. And it didn't matter. It did the trick. So yes, you can follow someone's things right to the T. If you're going to do that, go to hoodoo, because hoodoo is where it comes from, the uncrossing ritual. Go into hoodoo and look at what they do if you want to do it by the book. That's the book you need to look at. Any hoodoo, conjure, path, fucking, whatever you want to call it, spirituality, witchcraft. Basically, that's where you got to go to find that. But yeah, so I have one more thing I wanted to say before I changed topics, and hopefully it'll come back to me, but I don't know if it will. I just had it on the tip of my tongue when I was about to talk about birch, but I can't seem to remember it, so I'm gonna have to move on. But anyways, so all right, I remember what it was now. I was getting into what I did before I wished anybody who was casting on me, hexing, cursing, who sent any harmful entities or harmful energies whether conscious or unconscious to me, before the step of sending them love and wealth, which I know got received because I've got a hint of it coming back. And only the first little bit of it. So, but the reason I use that is because I'm preaching over here that everything's a cycle. I'm learning that everything's a circuit. What you throw out in the universe comes back. So if you're throwing out gossip, bad mouthing, negativity, you're getting that back. If you're putting out love, prosperity, trying to uplift people, you're getting that back. So if someone's casting on me, I can bind them up and I can use their own energy against them. And I did, to lessen the effects. Yesterday night was the worst night. But prior to that, 2 nights ago, basically I had a pretty rough night once again. So yesterday, before I did things with my wife and all that, I made the biggest transformation sigil that I learned from Birch ever. I charged it. I did a bunch of things. I made it come to life that same day. Candles, offerings, took it to the higher power, asked it if it be their will to transform all the energies to alleviate some of this from me. And I felt the effects because I had a great day that day. Is it just because I showed my subconscious that I know there's a threat and I'm taking care of it that alleviated it? Maybe. But then that night, my candles burnt out when I came home. I never lit any more candles. I went to sleep, or tried to go to sleep, and I had the worst night ever. And then at 4 a.m., I finally went upstairs, had enough, grabbed a fucking black candle, grabbed the fucking sigil, brought it down the stairs, put the sigil on my fridge, lit the black candle, and I was finally able to go to sleep. Now, that could be debated because I also took a nighttime Tylenol to help me go to sleep, not gonna lie, and say it was just a magic. I had to get some help, but I was finally able to fall asleep. Put the fucking candle right near me and my wife were laying, and I went out. Truth be told, I should have did that a long time ago, but I didn't want to admit that that's what it was. I wanted to think it was just me, it was just my issues, it was just whatever I was trying to work out with my body, blah, 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 blah. But the minute I got that black candle and I lit it, it absorbed the negativity with the power of the sigil. It is what it is. And then with the power of the medication in the nighttime Tylenol, I was able to get some sleep. So I used the transformation sigil. I activate it, and I use that to alleviate my the energies coming towards me, coming at me from whomever, whatever, whether it be my own thought forms, any nature-based spirits, elemental spirits, any persons, peoples, groups, whatever it be. I use the transformation sigil so that I don't get any karmic backlash, because the transformation sigil is just taking their energy and transforming it to something that I can either use at a later date or transforming it directly. And the way I used it was I used it to transform into something to send back to them. And you make it negativity, or you can make it into money for you to use. It's all up to you, according to Birch. So what I did was I was just storing it, and whenever it let up enough, and I could, from a centered and balanced place, make a decision on how I wanted to deal with whatever happened. Like I said, there's no way of me knowing, because I'm not that advanced or been in the game long enough to be able to pinpoint the source. Maybe I could intuitively do it, meditate, ask for answers and get them, but I don't think I was ready for those answers anyways, because if I found out that, it was negative thoughts, or, my parents or parents-in-law praying for me, and not meaning to do me harm, but I find out they're actually doing me harm, I might not be happy about that. So maybe I could find out, but maybe I don't want to know those answers. Maybe I'm not meant to know those answers. So I store the energy, and then from a balanced and centered place, I made a decision today to send them love and wealth, 2 things that I want abundance of. So I send it to them, so they no longer want to, maybe, if it's somebody directly casting on me, someone directly wishing me harm, well, if they're getting money and they're getting love, then they're not going to want to wish me harm. They're not going to want to fucking wish me, all the negative thoughts. They're not going to give 2 fucks. They're going to be happy and satisfied with their life. Anybody wishing you harm, jealousy, envy, anger, whatever the reason is, if they're getting fulfillment out of life if they're on their passion, if they're on their purpose, if they're getting love, if they're getting wealth, whatever they want, then they're not going to give two shits about you. I've already went over this, how when you find your passion, everything in your life gets better. But anyways, so that was the choice I made, and like I said, it's working, and it's a greater good to do. Now, I don't believe in the wicked reed per se, and I don't believe in the all harm none fall philosophy. I believe in people getting their karma that's deserved, because they deserve to learn their lessons, but I don't want to harm anybody intentionally either. And those who wish me harm, I want to see them prosper, so that we can all prosper, because truth be told, the ones that are probably wishing harm on me are probably magical practitioners, or they're being lied to by some community, whether it be a religious, spiritual community, or fucking government, fucking who knows, or maybe it's even my family members. So why would I want to wish harm on my family members if it's my family members' prayers and thoughts, thinking, oh, Corey's wearing a pentagram, he's a devil worshiper now, blah 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 blah. Well, I'm not gonna fucking want to hurt them. Why would I fucking do that? If I have no way of knowing who sent this to me, I can assume it's my ex or my wife's ex, just automatically assume the worst people. But if you ever read any books, the people you think committed the crime is normally the red herring. It's normally the person who actually doesn't do it. It's the person you at least expect. So the point is, whether I hate these people or they're my family, I don't want to know. And more importantly, I don't want to keep this vicious cycle going of them getting mad at me, being jealous of me, or them praying for me because they think they know what I'm going through. They think I'm in a bad place. They think I'm having such a rough time that they need to pray for me, when it's the furthest thing from the truth. I'm actually enjoying my life. Well, I was until the last few days, but truth be told, I'm actually pretty happy right now. Yes, I don't know exactly what my future is, and yes, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing in a few months for a living, or whatever the case may be. But right now, in the present moment, I'm fucking happy. I'm here. I'm with my wife, hanging out every day. She's off for a month, which is awesome. We're here with all our kids, enjoying the summer, the beautiful weather. We got a house. We got 2 fucking cars. We got 4 beautiful children. There's nothing to fucking complain about. So, but anyways, time to move on to a new topic, maybe more of a controversial topic. I don't like to get into the doom and gloom conspiracy stuff unless it's to prove a point, unless it's to highlight something that needs to be said, unless it's for a lesson. So let's get into the second lesson of the day, shall we? Alrighty. So, like I said, I looked at Birch's videos today. So when it comes to curses and stuff like that, he knows a hell of a lot. He's got a few different videos that hit on the subject, not just the main ones that talk about psychic defense or how to remove a curse or protection magic, but those are definitely 3 videos you should check out if you're ever thinking this thing's can happen or is happening to you. I really suggest it. But in watching his videos today, this is something I knew and I've seen before, but I didn't really put together until today when it comes to his show on Spreaker. He's my inspiration for making my show, so I am grateful to him for that, because I love having these shows on here. I love talking. I love getting this stuff out of my system. I love creating this stuff. I mean, when I sit down and I start writing in my book, it's this whole big creative process that I just lose track of time. I lose myself in. It helps me channel fucking thoughts. It helps me learn more. It's beautiful. It never would happen for him. But so much of his show is dedicated to the politics that's going on in the States, and it's a pretty big issue. And I've stated many times that I am neutral. I don't pick a side because I see both sides clearly, or what I think, in my opinion, is clearly that if Trump is psycho and going to bring down the world in war, well, I believe that there's going to be a good that's going to come out of it, and it's going to be, because of that we're going to band together finally, and we're going to fix it, because everything, to fix anything, first has to be broken. So If he's the man that breaks it, well then, if he's evil, then he's a fucking necessary evil. That has to happen. That being said, I consider Birch to be one of my mentors, one of my teachers, one of the people that was very influential for me getting into magic, and where a lot of my core knowledge comes from. He was my, because I don't have a Christianity right and a Satanist left anymore. I don't have a heaven and a hell mindset anymore. What I have is a right hand and a left hand path. And what those paths are is witchcraft on the left and ceremonial magic on the right. And everything in between is all the other spiritualities I've taken out of. That is now my core. That is my pendulum. That is my polarity. I am those two things. That's how I look at everything. I look at everything in terms of spirituality and planetary magic and witchcraft and deities and elementals and watchers and archangels and demons. All of those things are relevant. And that's my polarity now. So that being said, if I had to place Birch on that polarity side and Frater Xavier on the other polarity side, well, Frater would be, because he's ceremonial magic, he's Goetia, he was raised in a strict conservative Catholic, Roman, or religious upbringing, as was I. So he sits on that side where the heaven part would have been, and witchcraft and Birch would be where the hell part would have been, for me anyways. But it doesn't mean they're mutually exclusive. Another reason for it is I put witchcraft as the goddess, and I put ceremonial magic as, the male energy. But these are just correspondences. That's not like that's actually my polarity or anything like that. I am trying to be neutral. I'm trying to be right in between those. That's where I want to be. I want to be right between ceremonial magic and fucking witchcraft. That's where I want to be. I want to be that point where they both connect. Where I get all the good stuff from the witchcraft and I get all the good stuff from ceremonial magic, and I leave all the other crap that's not needed from those two systems, because there is a bunch of crap that's not needed from any system. Just like in Catholic, Judaism, or even Islam, there is stuff that's good and stuff that's bad. But anyways, that's my polarity scheme. So Birch is there. So being that said, that he's one of my mentors, that he's literally my either negative, like I said, I put witchcraft on the negative side, but it doesn't mean it's negative, but that would be my polarity on the left side. I didn't like necessarily hearing him continuously focus on the issues, because the more he gets people's minds focused on the issues, the more the issues happen. But I understood he was bringing awareness. But today, it clicked. I was watching his videos, and this may not be true, and it may be true, and I hope I don't piss him off by saying this, but I mean this in the utmost respect, and that I finally think I may have a handle on what he's trying to do. Anyways, I hope that's what he's trying to do. But he talks about, I think it's Perfect Love and Perfect Trust video, that he talks about if you have a coven, if you made it over 13 members, what you're going to find is if you don't establish a them and an us, then that's going to happen within your coven. And if you're stupid enough to make it over 13 members, well, then you're going to have a bigger faction. But if you don't have a them and an us, if you don't have a group that you can focus hate or anger or frustration or oppression at, such as the Catholic Church, because witchcraft and the Catholic Church, been at odds forever. If you don't have that, then if you pretend everything's love and light, then that's going to develop within your craft, within your coven, basically. So it would be wise to establish and show and point to that, so that you guys will be united, because you'll have something that unites you against that. And as I was watching that video today, it clicked. That's one of the reasons anyways that he brings all this awareness, that he brings all this stuff out about Trump, because it's there, it's in our face, it is a problem. All the things Birch says about the Catholic Church, about Trump being Catholic as worst Catholic that could be. It's all true. And he brings up points how there's an argument that's stuck that some parent said, if I don't allow my son to gay bash, it's going against his religious rights. And that's stuck. And when he said that, I got a fucking disgusting feeling in the pit of my stomach that some little kid got picked on because of that, and they actually let that pass. I mean, that's disgusting. That's repulsive. So everything he's stating is true in its potential, but by stating this, he also talks about witch wars and how whenever the more free we are and the less oppression we have, we forget that the Catholic Church is still there trying to kill and hang and burn witches. When we forget about that, we tend to fight within our factions. We tend to fight with each other. The different fairy groups will fight. The different ghost hunters will fight. The different witches will fight. Ceremonial magicians, left and right hands, everybody just starts fighting. Because now we're not all focused on our common enemy. We're focused on which one of us is right. We get bored because no matter what, human nature is always going to happen where there's going to be an us and a them. And if that isn't a distinct, if you don't point that out to people, that the biggest problem is them, the people that actually want to do us harm, and not each other, not the other magical groups that just want to do their magic and be left alone and enjoy their life. If we are focusing on each other instead of the actual problem, then they're going to come up from behind, because they're probably the ones starting these fights anyways, but they're going to come up from behind and they're going to divide and they're going to conquer, when we should be uniting and fucking taking over instead of letting them conquer. But so I finally have understood why he continuously focuses on Trump, because he is trying to do what I said that the evil that Trump is, the psychoticness, the whatever he's going to do that's going to break our economy, that's going to bring us to war, whatever the case is, whatever it is, there's going to be a greater good that's going to come out of that. Well, Birch is preemptively striking and getting us together so that we are not blindsided by fighting with each other first and attacking each other all within these magical communities. We are this way he's keeping us on task, focused on who the enemy really is. And that's what he's doing. That is one of his purposes, one of his focuses, why he's right there in LA in the thick of it, doing this beautiful, beautiful job that he's doing. And I commend him and I thank him for it. And I'm so glad I can finally understand it, so I can stop worrying about why is he making people focus on this stuff. And like I said, it was way above my pay grade, so I never wanted to comment on it. And I never meant him any disrespect, because I always knew he was way more knowledgeable about this stuff than I was. So I'm just happy I can finally understand it and understand how important it is and how I'm right there with him. Now, you don't have to be as in your face fighting on the front lines like Birch is, and calling out Trump, right there, saying what he's saying and all that to fight this. There is other ways we can go about doing this. And I'm not saying that as a derogatory or trying to say his way is wrong, because I think what he's doing is awesome. And to keep at it, the more we can focus on who the real enemy is, the more we can unite. So yeah, he's doing us all a great service, and one that's not easy to do, to take all that on, to point out all that. I mean, he seems like he enjoys it, but you can also tell in his voice when he talks about some certain things that it really bugs him, that people aren't taking this more seriously and all that. And I might have been one of those people at one point, and I'm no longer that person. Now I understand how important this actually is to not forget, because the moment we start say, you know what, no, they're not actually doing all that stuff that Birch is saying. No, that's the moment that, bam, we're going to get taken up the ass. And we're like, fuck, we should have fucking listened. So I'm going to do also a preemptive strike, but I'm going to go about it a little differently. the way I'm going to go about it, because I'm not in the States. I'm Canadian, as I stated often. I can't even actually vote for or against him. So, but what I can do is help put magic more on the map. And why and how does that help? Well, it helps because the more people in magic who actually stop focusing on that. See, everybody that Birch is talking to, if they're in the magical community, they should know that what they focus on, they bring about, right? So that focusing on all those issues is going to bring about more of those issues. However, like I said, he is bringing the awareness that we need to band against each other and stop fighting within our magical community, so that we actually stop the real evil from happening, and not worrying about which one of our fucking factions is more right, which one of us is the real magic, which one isn't. I don't know what everybody fights about within these circles, because like I said, I'm pretty new to the game, so I don't know. But he's making sure that we're all on the same page and we all know who the enemy is. He's the reminder every day, or every Tuesday anyways, who the enemy is and who we got to watch out for. And always making sure that we remember that we have no reason to fight with each other, because we still have a common enemy. But anyways, I want to put magic back on the map. Well, I don't want to put magic back on the map. Magic's already on the map. It's not my job to put it on the map. But I want to make it popular. No, that's not what I mean anyways. Fuck. Well, how am I supposed to say this? I should have wrote this down. All I want to do is what I said in my first videos. I want to be another voice that says this is real. But not only do I want to be another voice saying this shit is real, I want to be another voice telling people to also be a voice. Get on fucking YouTube. Get on Spreaker, get on a podcast, get on a blog, get in your community, go to your local fucking witch store or fucking whatever, and sign up for whatever and get informed and get as many people to see this stuff. Understand that for every person that starts a new podcast or a new YouTube video, there's going to be somebody out there that's going to eventually find your stuff and you're going to help. It may not happen at first, it may not, whatever, but find a way. I want people to contribute, and I know not everybody's going to be comfortable talking about this stuff or coming on the air and making a show, and you don't have to. I'm not forcing anybody to, but anybody who is interested in doing this, but they've been kind of like putting it off. Now's the time. Now's the time to get into it. Now's the time to get on the air. Now's the time to get on YouTube, make your videos, whatever. And if you don't really want to start, pay for anything yet, like I said, open invitation. Anybody wants to send me audio clips, recording them talking about their craft, talking about their manifestations, asking me questions, asking what books, asking anything, doing anything, saying anything, or come on live with me, via Skype call or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Come on. You're welcome. I got 3 hours of talking time any day of the week, anytime. It doesn't fucking matter. I can fucking do a show every day, a couple times a day. It don't matter. I'll willingly share that or give you all the time if you want it. I want as many people out there talking about magic. And I don't want people talking about stuff that they haven't done yet or experienced yet. I'm not going to promote that. I mean, if you do that, then you do that. But only go beyond your experience if you're a neophyte. If you're not even a neophyte and you're just looking into it. If you're on the 3rd grade. If you're done a few year-to-days. If you're a fucking high priestess or a high priest, whatever, just get out there. Tell the world about it. Because for every person you affect, they're going to affect another person. It's a chain reaction. And we need as many people in and on the magical community side from everywhere in the world, probably mainly in the States right now, but everywhere in the fucking world, to be on fucking, I don't know if you want to call it Team Birch or Team fucking Magic or whatever, to stop or go against whatever can and may be coming. I'm not saying everything is coming, but there is a lot of hype around the age of Aquarius, 2020 being potentially that new age of Aquarius coming in, and with the new election happening at that same time, blah 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 blah. We need as many people in and on the magical team as possible. And not only just for that, this is how you change your fucking life. This is how you reprogram your fucking subconscious mind. This is how you find your passion. This is how you find peace, find balance, how you rejuvenate, how you stay alive longer, how you become healthier, how you get rid of your fucking demons, how you become rich, successful, have a house, have a car, have a fucking life, have a wife, have whatever the fuck you want. I mean, that's the biggest selling point. I'm not trying to recruit anybody. I'm just trying to get everybody who's already been recruited to get out there and just put their message out so that more people see it. Because you're putting out the message for people to find. Because anybody who's on the fence about magic, I want them to be welcomed in with open arms, I guess. Not to recruit, because it's not for the meek of heart, because taking some of these oaths and doing some of these things aren't for everybody. But there are a lot of people out there that are meant for this, that are probably being lied to, and would probably be powerful allies and are not seeing this. But so enough about that per se, but let's talk about why Christians or any religious institute at the highest levels may want to oppress us, want to shut up the witches, want to burn or stake or hang magical practitioners. And the reason is that Christianity, and you could probably look this up and figure it out for yourself and find it and read it between the lines, but Roman Catholic is my religion, and it's called a Roman Catholic because when the Catholics, this is what I learned within the Catholic school, so it may not be accurate because it's their tale of it, but anyways, whenever after Christ died, the Christians were gathering. They weren't Christians yet. They were just a bunch of Jesus' followers and people that were going around telling the good news about how Jesus came back from the dead. They were going around telling them about this, and the Colosseum didn't have as many slaves anymore, whatever the case was. So they started rounding up people that were against the Roman Empire, because, technically, yes, it was the high Jewish priests that crucified Christ, or paid Pontius Pilate to crucify Christ, but Pontius Pilate's the one that actually made the decision. So there was blood on his hands as well. So they were upset with them. They were hiding and they were trying to recruit people, telling people about it. But when they found these Christians, they would feed them to the lions, so to speak, let them die in the Colosseum, and let a bunch of Romans see it. Now, the story, as I learned, there's a few very strong men and women, and one woman in particular who, she went up against soldiers, and she just kept saying, she went up against a few different stages, maybe a lion, and then, maybe a couple different animals, and she was still surviving, and they said, if you just say that there's no such thing as Jesus Christ, that he didn't actually come back from the dead, and you believe in what we believe in, or whatever, we'll just kill you peacefully. And she just kept refusing, and they kept, torturing her, and it moved people, and this thing kept reoccurring, and it kept moving people to the point that the Romans, with their people seeing this and wanting to know more about this Jesus character and all this, decided to adopt Christianity and call it Roman Catholic. And it was the religion for the people, not necessarily the religion the government structures practiced, or the higher ups, the Roman, the emperors and all that. They weren't Christians, but their people were Catholic. It was a way to keep the people in line. Go talk to your priest, and your priest will do this. And the priest eventually got power, and the Pope got power, where the Queen and all that was interchangeable, where kings were able to change the Bible, and we know the rest. But that was the story I learned. Within the Catholic school board, though, mind you. But the point I was trying to make with that big, long story was that it was adopted by the Romans because the people liked it. And just like witchcraft and different things like that, they turned the saints, or the deities, whenever they went to a place where witchcraft, or maybe it wasn't witchcraft, but it was a different religion that was there practicing, well, they said, oh, no, that's okay, our religion believes in that too. Yeah, this saint is the same thing as your deity, so just believe in the saint, it's the same thing. And that's how witchcraft survived through Christianity, and people still kept believing in it, and that's why you can technically pray to a certain saint if you lose your keys. I mean, it's very similar to what Birch talks about, using squat to find a parking spot. Same fucking idea, right? So the point is, there's always been a religion there for the masses, to keep the masses in line. But it's not necessarily the religion that the upper ups, the governments, the popes, the bishops, those guys use, the queens, the kings. And that's still true today. The reason that Christianity wants to persecute magical practitioners and all that, and gets all these zealots riled up about black magic and all the shitty things we can do, is because they themselves. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? I'm sure everybody already knows this, but let's just assume you don't. Are you ready for this? This is fucking huge. The reason they don't want you practicing this stuff, the reason they changed the Bible around to condemn magic and witchcraft, the reason that Birch doesn't want anybody to vote Trump back in because he thinks Trump is going to go after the witches, is because the Pope, the Queens, all these higher up Illuminati government officials, whoever you believe is running the world right now, they all practice magic. There it is. There's the big fucking secret. But they hide it. They hide it in plain sight. We all know that. They give us the religion they want us to pacify us with. And within Christianity, you can call on saints, and some of those saints are just like deities, and you can have real witchcraft results within Christianity because it survived, because you can't shut this shit up, because you can never get rid of occult knowledge. It's within us all. There's symbols out there that trigger us. Now those symbols have been hijacked, and you're told that the all-seeing eye is an evil symbol, and the eye of Horus is an evil symbol, and the pyramid is evil, and all this shit's evil, when it's the furthest thing from the truth. These things have a subconscious effect on us. It's the reason you're drawn to fear-based media, because you see those symbols, and your subconscious is telling you, fucking look at this, fucking look at this, this is going to wake you up. But they've hijacked it and told you it's evil. And if you don't get past that, then you won't ever get past that. If you don't keep looking down the rabbit hole to finally find your truth, then yeah, you're going to get fucked and you're never going to know. But it has a subconscious effect on us because we know, intuitively we know those things are not what they're telling us they are. Just like we know the Pope, the Queens, the Kings, the Trumps, all these motherfuckers, they are condemning magic. Now, I don't know about Trump, but everybody else, they are condemning. They all condemn magic because they use magic. And they don't just use magic like I use magic. They don't just use magic like Birch uses magic or Frater uses magic. They're not just in their basement, in their temple room, manifesting their life. No. These motherfuckers are using your mind against you. That's right. Maybe not you guys listen to this because you're probably all into magic and taking back your mind and not watching TV and not listening to songs that don't serve you and not eating bad food anymore and not drinking bad water anymore and taking care of yourselves and training your mind and all that. But everybody else out there that believes in, what Christianity and the church and the Pope is telling us, believing that you have to work and all this other crap. And they have their sigils out there, and they have their egregores out there, and they have their fucking subliminals in their TV shows and telling you, you need to go to church, and you need to pray, and you need to work, and you need to pay your taxes, and you need to be a good little citizen, and you need to fucking conform, and this and that and the other thing. All this fucking bullshit. While they're telling you all this to keep you to be a good little citizen, and be a good little boy, and don't start any trouble, they're taking your mind power and focusing it on through the media, whenever there's elections that were when the lie started, basically, after 3 or 4 generations where there's nobody that remembers what it used to be like before this lie happened, basically, then everybody's just born to this truth, even though it's a fucking lie. But it just keeps getting regenerated. And if someone doesn't lie, does some research and actually looks some shit up and figures out, oh, this is a fucking lie. But one out of everybody, that does that in every country. People are just like, you're a fucking idiot. No. We were taught that this is right. There's no reason to deny these people. We just believe whatever the fuck we want to believe. We're just a bunch of ignorant assholes. Basically what happens. But now, today's age, we have the internet where everybody can connect and everybody can, put all the things they figured out the lies, basically, and put on the internet and see how many other people have also figured this out. And then they gain followers and they put out videos and they put out content. However, the reverse also happens. The people that are trying to propagate and keep the lie going and keep the fiction going, they hijack, like I said, our symbols, and they promote that magic is bad, and on a different level. And it's not hard to fake a bunch of accounts and fake a bunch of people that like something, and I want to be like everybody else too. So you go and you fucking like that thing just because everybody else is doing it, even though most of those people could be fake. But the point is, it's not hard after a few generations have passed to fucking keep a lie going. So for anybody out there who's oblivious and ignorant, please don't take anything I'm saying to heart, because I was the same way at one point, and my family's the same way, and I don't love them any less. Everybody is this way at one point, and then they hit the fucking cold hard truth, and it knocks their fucking socks off. It rocks your world upside down, and then once you're on the upswing again, then you're okay. But for a while, it fucks you up. It really does. But once that's over, everything gets all good again. But now we're faced with a choice. What do we do? Do we just let our family be ignorant? Do we try to change them? Do we try to help them see the truth? Do we just let it keep going on? Do we let it affect our life? What do we do? And this is what I'm proposing. Get out there. Get on social media. Fucking tell people what you want to do. Tell people what you've been doing. You don't have to fucking spam people and put it out there. Do it like I did. I went on Spreaker. I went on YouTube initially, and my Spreaker apps go on YouTube, but I don't promote it, and I don't send it to my family, and I don't send it to my friends, and I can't even make a Facebook account if I wanted to, because every time I fucking try to link up my shit, it gets flagged or whatever, so I just gave up on that fucking shit. I tried recently again, figuring, it'll probably help my viewers and, more shits on there, but it fucking within an hour of being it online, it went down, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck's the point? But, you don't have to actually send this to people. If you want to make a fake alias, that's fine too. It doesn't matter, as long as you have real content and you don't go above your knowledge. You can talk about what other people have done. If I talk about Frater or Birch doing something, giving references to them, that's fine, but not saying you actually did it if you haven't done it yet, and don't talk about your magic you're doing. But get out there and tell people what you've accomplished, what you have done, what you've changed, and the people that are meant to find it, that are gonna get help from it, are gonna find it, and you're gonna realize it's gonna help you too, because the other thing I've noticed was that the more I help, the more I teach, the more I talk about my stuff, the more information I get. And not only that, this is going to sound fucked up, and I'm not trying to make it glorified or anything, because it's still very subtle as well, but all the clairs, the clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, all those things, right? Those are the powers I wanted, right? Like getting into this stuff, you hear about all that. It's like, that's fucking cool. I wish I could. And I told you a few stories about where, I'm meditating, I get some picture in my head, and then later on I see it. And I've told you I've seen people before. But lately, it's so much more vivid, and it's so much more real, and it's longer, and it's not just the pictures, it's the smells, it's the hearing, it's everything. And it's like upgraded. It's intense. I can't control it. It still comes and goes when it wants, but it's more and more frequent. And the only constant that I can pinpoint is that I'm helping people. Not only am I putting out the information and how I've done what I've done, how I've accomplished what I've accomplished. Not only am I giving away what I did free of charge, may I add, I am doing my spells by blessing other people I am, instead of asking to receive money, I'm asking for my mother to receive money. I'm asking for my mother-in-law to receive money. I'm asking for people I've hated, people that I worked with, people that got me fired from my last job. This guy, one person in particular, I'm asking for him to receive love and release his negativity. I'm trying to change, instead of being spiteful, hateful, resentful. I'm trying to send these people what they need to heal, so they can let go of whatever I've done to piss them off that's restraining me from getting what I want, or to just complete that angry circuit and change it to a new circuit. I'm not saying the whole world is love and light and you should be love and light, but I'm saying if you can stomach it, if you can try it, instead of cursing somebody, try fucking, forgiving, letting go, sending them something positive, and you're probably going to get it back. You're probably going to manifest your shit twice as fast. I mean, to me, that's the real secret. Magic is great, magic is beautiful, magic is powerful, because you can do whatever the fuck you want. But if you really want to learn how to manifest shit, start sending everybody you fucking hate, everyone you fucking have something against, everybody you don't fucking like. You start sending them fucking love, you start sending them wealth, you start sending them health. You ask to God, the divine, to help heal whatever's between you and send them whatever they're asking for. Or, ask as if it's already happened. I'm so thankful and grateful that you sent James Wilson enough money that he can retire, and you fixed the problems between him and his wife, and gave him some friends that he could really count on, And then all those things are going to come to you. As that somebody you hated, that you wished against, you gave bad thoughts to. So you created bad karma, and you're probably living out that karma right now. But by doing that, you're equalizing that karma, or setting it the opposite direction. Either way, it's a faster way to make manifestation happen for you. And it's the change I'm guessing most people want to see in the world. To be honest, most people just want a good life, something they love doing, a reason to wake up in the morning, a good wife, a good life, good job, cars, maybe a boat, maybe a fucking whatever, a hobby, they want to have their kids be safe, not do drugs and shit like that. That's it, right? We all want to fucking just live our life. There might be one or two psychos out there that are like, the worst of two evils, I want the worst, I want to be a fucking psycho, I want to kill motherfuckers. But for the most part, nobody wants to kill anybody. Everybody wants to get along. Even the crazy fucking Christian fuckers. They may want to kill magical practitioners, but they're just saying that because they want other people to kill us, because they don't want the bloods on their hands. They just want to keep doing their magic and using the masses. And they want the less people getting into magic because that's less power for them. It all comes back to that. So, your Christian zealots, your anybody who is publicly going against magic or anything like that, they might not necessarily be on the take. They might be just the puppets being, with their fucking, the upper ups with their hand up their ass, making them fucking talk. You know what I mean? Like the people on CNN are just delivering the news stories. They're not the ones actually coming up with the fucking news. They're just the actors playing a fucking part. They're just doing a job that if they don't say what they're fucking told to say, they're going to get fired and not be able to eat, You can get mad at the people, at the news anchors of CNN all you want. Which, to a certain extent, I mean, if I wasn't happy doing a fucking job or didn't believe in it, I wouldn't fucking stay in there. I already fucking proved that a few times now. So, to a certain extent, it's like, okay, well, how low are your fucking morals to keep giving out this bullshit? But, some of them are in tough situations and are too scared to leave their job. Most people are too scared to take this path, to just put all their faith in spiritual fucking guidance and wisdom and know that everything's going to be okay. I know that. But does my wife necessarily know that? Well, truth be told, she's getting a hell of a lot better. And she's actually very supportive and very loving, and it's been an amazing actual last few weeks, to be honest. So things are, looking up, and she is very much more open. I'm not gonna hope that, she's gonna start watching, listening to stuff I do, but she's not so judgmental, and even, practicing and things that she remembers hearing that I played out loud, she'll quote back to me, kind of, and attempt to make me eat my own words kind of thing. But still, it shows that she cares and that she's, loves me enough to just respect what I believe in. And that's all I can ask for. And that's all that matters, to be honest. But point of all this is the upper ups, the Pope, all these people, they are using magic, and they're using the masses' focused attention for their magic. And the reason they condemn magic is because themselves, they use magic, and they're getting away with it. So they know how much we are probably getting away with. It's kind of similar to if you've ever had an ex who accused you of cheating because they were themselves cheating, and they had that guilty conscience because they got away with cheating on you, so they assume that you're doing the same to them, or they have that shitty conscience or whatever. It's the same concept. It's just the people higher up, they're using magic and using everybody's focused magic. They think all these other witches or magic or ceremonial magicians or, all these other mythologies and other hoodoos, conjures, santerias, all the fucking places around the world that all do some kind of witchcraft are all ganging up against them. So they're launching a preemptive strike and telling you magic is bad, magic is the devil, magic is this, magic is that, blah, 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 bullshit. But it's just because they're doing it to you. How do they know all this shit is that bad? If they never practiced this on themselves, okay? They just, this person bewitched them. Like, they're just assuming. No, they know firsthand what this stuff they can do. They know firsthand that this stuff is powerful stuff. They know firsthand that you could fuck people up with this shit. They know firsthand because they're doing it firsthand. If they didn't, then how could they condemn us? But anyways, so that's the next point I wanted to bring up that I think I made my point on. We want to take back our minds. We don't want to give those people our fucking power anymore. We need to alleviate ourselves from this crap. This bullshit that we're being sold that magic is the devil. Like, when I first got into magic, I was like, okay, I'm only going to do white magic because black magic is evil. Until, okay, well, black magic is just using the moon in the proper, and when the moon's waning. So it's baneful magic, that's bad. But, baneful magic can have its place too, technically. I'm not going to get into that right now, but it's different perspectives. And the more you're depolarized, you understand that there really is no good or bad perspective. There's baneful and malicious intent. People killing people just to kill people is, malicious intent. But killing somebody to save somebody else is not necessarily bad, depending on where you are, I guess, or whose family member you're related to, or whatever the case may be. But there's always a reason for everything. People have to die for new people to be born. People have to die so we don't overpopulate and take up all the resources. There has to be destruction to rebuild. There has to be a psycho president to fuck up the world for us to take the fucking world back. But I'm going to end that here for that little rant. I don't want to keep going any further with that. I keep going on and on and on about, because I'm pretty sure I could rant about that for a while. I did want to get into a few more things, but I don't know if I'm going to or not. But it was just basically how to look at magic in a different way, how you look at your altar and your ritual room, your temple, how to look at it as a representation of your mind. I know everybody says that already or whatever, but basically, how voodoo or hoodoo uses a doll to represent themselves or to bind someone else or whatever. Well, looking at magic as a bigger scale of that, and I was going to do a bunch of ways to represent that, but being with what just happened with me and all that, I think it's very fitting to play at least some of that book for you guys and whatever. And I've already talked for about an hour, so that should be good enough for today. And I'm going to do my best to be on tomorrow with the newest episode of Ceremonial Witchcraft. And it's going to be emphasis on different ways to look at as above, so below. Different ways to look at doing your magic that will help you with manifestation, but not necessarily exactly for manifestation. It's just going to be putting together a lot of little pieces and how you can better use your altar, why you should keep your altar clean and cleansed, and why to make things yourself and all that. But it's going to be very review basic stuff, but there's going to be a lot of tips and tricks in there on how to propel and speed up manifestation just by thinking about things a little differently. Because by thinking about these things every day, going to your altar every day, doing these things every day, it's going to help with everything. Because basically you're making that habit that I was talking about. But anyways, I'm going to get at it tomorrow. I'm going to end this here. So hope you all enjoyed. I know it was a little different. I don't think Birch listens to this, but if you do, I hope you don't take offense to anything I said. I have nothing but the utmost respect for you and what you're doing, especially now more than ever that I know, well, what I think I know anyways, of why you continuously focus on Trump, not only because you are worried and about the survival of all witches, yourself, your wife, your kid, all that, but on a bigger level for us to all focus and band together. And I'm right there with you. Whatever I can do to help, I'll do. And like I said, I consider you a mentor and a teacher, and I am grateful for all your teachings and everything you ever put on YouTube and on Spreaker. So, and everybody else who isn't Birch, I hope you enjoyed the show. Hit me up if you want a book. Hit me up if you want to come on the air for free and just talk and promote how magic's changed your life or helped you, or what you manifested, or any questions, or whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Just hit me up if you want airtime. Send me a recording of whatever. I'll put it on to. I'll let you know in advance anyways. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out of here. Till tomorrow. Later.
Lost souls in revelry. What happened to dignity? Did it go away again? Just like some worn out trend. Will I still defend emotions? What happened to honesty? I don't see it in the top 10. I only see it in what has been. 'Cause I still defend devotion. Don't wanna rest, I don't wanna breathe when I wanna hear about life. Don't wanna hear a spokesman. I don't wanna test, I want to believe. The goddamn singer wrote the song. Don't wanna hear a spokesman. What?
Awareness of energy by living in a thoughtless and contrary way.
Worlds overlap, and though we cannot perceive each other's presence easily, we do affect each other. Through burning and dumping waste, damming up rivers and lakes, building cities, and other actions in which we disturb the natural environment, we run the risk of upsetting these spiritual beings and earning their wrath. A large portion of traditional medicine and shamanism in indigenous cultures is geared toward addressing maladies caused by these spirits. When I lived in Nepal, I had an acquaintance that became gravely and inexplicably ill. The hospital couldn't figure out what was wrong, and it was suggested that he go see a doctor of Tibetan medicine. The doctor realized that he had upset a group of Nagas, chthonic serpent spirits, by bathing in a particular pool during a hike. He was given some medicine for the symptoms, but beyond treating the symptoms, it was more important for him to have the spirits exorcised and for him to make offerings and ask forgiveness of this group of spirits. He did, and he got better soon afterward. Because the spirits are made of energy and awareness, they can affect us on those subtle layers and filter the effect into the physical levels of our immune and nervous system. They can also affect our emotional disposition and thought process. For instance, another group of spirits in the Himalayas called the Gilpos are known to be fond of exciting hate and anger and are thought to be the cause of several wars. Though the modern world does not recognize these dangers, all magical paradigms have some way of dealing with them. Far from being the providence only of tribal shamans in Asia and Africa, the 20 recognizing attack witches of old Europe prescribed plenty of remedies against incursions from the spirits, as did the medieval grimoires of ceremonial magic. For instance, in the Testament of Solomon, which is the basis for many famous grimoires, such as the Gotia, we are given a list of demons that cause various ailments and the angelic forces that drive them off. So I put to them the question, who are ye called? The first said, I, O Lord, am called Ruachs, and I cause the heads of men to be idle, and I pillage their brows. But let me only hear the words, Michael, and at once I retreat. And the second said, I am Bar Saphael, and I cause those who are subject to my hour to feel the pain of migraine. If only I hear the words, Gabriel, Bar Saphael, at once I retreat. The third said, I am called Aro, finding circumflex accent, Osiel. I do harm to eyes, and grievously injure them. Only let me hear the words, Uriel, imprisionerados Zael, sick, at once I retreat. Occult ambience. Given that we can attract the ire of spirits just by living our everyday lives, it stands to reason that the problem is greatly compounded when we stumble upon places of power where great amounts of occult force are concentrated or that are haunted by disturbed presences. Because our modern world has largely shut us from our natural psychic sensitivity, most people will wander through these places without noticing anything peculiar. However, some people who are just a little sensitive to these forces can find that sensitivity increases in N21 protection. Versal magic uncomfortably drastic manner in certain places and circumstance, and thus we come to our second source of attack, occult ambience. There are many stories of people being touched by places dedicated to spirit. If a beautiful temple or circle of trees can inspire us by its power, then it stands to reason that certain places will touch us in the opposite way, disturbing our energy and bringing us into contact with malefic forces. These places can be naturally powerful because of a gathering of psychic energy, such as at a ley line nexus. But they can also be powered by the actions of humans, such as ancient shrines, graveyards, or places happened, such as a murder or rape, or even a say, combining a cute accent ends that was performed long ago. Whatever the cause of the potency, such places can ignite the psychic potential in people that spend time in them. Without training and guidance, the sudden change in awareness will come as a shock and leave someone vulnerable to forces that they never even knew existed. Even if the powers are benign, the shift in perception may simply be too much to handle. If ordinary people are unknowingly troubled by spirits and thought powers that be, or infringing upon the unseen world accidentally, it stands to reason that the sorcerer, who makes a life out of contact with the unseen, is confronted with such dangers even more often. The difference is that the witch is in a position to do something about it. There is an old cliché combining a cute accent in magic that warns, do not call up that which you cannot put down. The problem with this advice is that it is hard to figure out exactly what you can put down until you take a chance in calling it up. We could play it safe by not summoning up anything at all, but most occultists seek to grow in knowledge and power by finding their limits and pushing past them. 22. Recognizing attack. Though there is a stigma on certain classically Faustian practices such as evocation and necromancy, it is vital to note that even common practices, such as casting circles, scrying, divining, and raising power, can light up the astral plane and make us more noticeable to denizens of the subtle realms. This in turn increases our chances of attracting malefic or mischievous energies amidst all the other beings that we will encounter. Naturally, the more advanced and experimental you are with magic, the greater the potential for a misstep, but some people can run into problems even doing very basic work. Indeed, experience has taught me that some people with emotional problems and mental illness take up magic to seek help with their problems only to find that the problem is exacerbated by even rudimentary banishing practices. Broken vows. Apart from experimentation, there is another way our own practice can turn against us that surprisingly few people consider, that is the breaking of magical vows. Vows made during initiations, self-empowerment ceremonies, or even solitary promises made to the gods and spirits outside of formal ritual will rebound upon us and manifest as an attack if broken. To cite an example from my own life, when I was just 17 years old, I was working my way through Donald Michael Craig's excellent textbook Modern Magic, and I decided it was time to perform his Ritual of Magical Obligation, which is based upon the oath of an Adeptus Minor from the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. In the obligation I vowed to do several things, amongst which were the promises not to display my magical tools to non-practitioners, not to lie, and not to spread rumors. In my youthful exuberance I made these promises in the presence of the gods and spirits, and then promptly broke them. I felt the repercussion the moment I told my 23 protection and reversal magic first lie to my boss at work a few days after taking the obligation. My spells stopped working for a time, and I noted a definite lack of vitality. To fix the situation I created another rite of apology and offering, renouncing the former vow. I do not wish to denigrate the practice of taking vows. Since then, I have taken several magical vows, both solitary and to various groups, and I have benefited greatly from keeping them, but I am now very discerning with what I agree to. When powerful guardians of a current, coven, or magical order are invoked in the vows, the problem can escalate a situation from simple crossed conditions such as I experienced, to outright attacks from the guardians that once protected you. Be careful what you agree to. Attacks from other practitioners, the last source of danger we need to be concerned with, and the one that the majority of this book is focused on, is attacks from other magicians, witches, and psychics. I have seen it written that no real witch would ever do magic to harm someone or influence in others' will. I have seen it argued that no genuine ceremonial magician would harm another because he knows that the law of karma would turn his work back upon him. I have also heard the argument that anyone with the power it takes to launch a successful magical attack would be evolved enough to be beyond doing such things. All I have to say is, don't you believe it? Such arguments help sell books and help make witchcraft more acceptable to mainstream society, but it's just wishful thinking on the part of people who should know better. It is comforting to think that all witches adhere to a moral code such as the Wiccan Rede, and because of that never would harm anyone, but it's simply not the case. In fact, if we take into account the full spectrum of practitioners of magic and witchcraft, I can assure you 24 recognizing attack that comparatively few hold true to these rules. Any owner of a well-stocked occult supply store can tell you that items geared toward harmful and coercive magic are hot sellers. Like pornography, it's something that no one ever admits to doing, but still seems to be done by an awful lot of folks. From the Greek defix Ionis tablets that were prepared to jinx races, force a lover's obedience, and do an enemies, to Mabel Briggs, Black Fast in the 1500s, to Dr. Buzzard and Georgia laying goofer dust against his client's foes. A perusal of magical practices throughout world history will show that curses and bindings have always been a part of witchcraft in the past, and remain so to this day. Just a few months before I wrote this, a group of Kabbalistic sorcerers in Israel gathered at an ancient cemetery to perform the Pulsatinura, or Lashes of Fire curse, against Ariel Sharon. 1 At this writing, Sharon is in a coma and not expected to recover. We must not think that only evil people with no morals engage in such activities either. Most practitioners have the same rules for magic that they do for any other type of action. If they would use mundane means to get revenge, cause harm, confuse, or influence another person, then chances are they will feel comfortable using magic to achieve the same ends. I have even seen strident, white lighters jump to curses when they feel that their cause is just or that they are serving a greater good. The catch, of course, is that most people always feel that their actions are justified, and will use all sorts of reasoning to arrive at that conclusion. Even if you don't practice magic yourself, you can hire a professional to send a curse for you. While most professional workers these days, myself included, shun accepting this type of work without 25 protection and reversal magic, some good cause, there are those who will take any job for a price. In most traditional cultures, it would be a fairly common thing to approach a witch and ask for someone to be jinxed or cursed, and would be just as common to approach someone to take it off. There have even been a few documented cases of one conjurer working both sides of the fence on the same client, laying the curse then taking it off. What complicates matters is that not every curse is intentional. It is well known that gifted people can manifest powerful hexes without any training or intent. In Italy, for instance, Malixio, the evil eye, is generally thought to be cast through the sheer power of envy, hatred, or simple ill-wishing. Anyone with enough power, a sufficient emotional charge, and a target can launch an accidental psychic attack. It is also possible that people of weak constitution or will can become psychic parasites, unintentionally draining those around them of vitality. Though these attacks are accidental, they need to be dealt with all the same. Identifying the attack if we are vigilant in keeping up regular banishing rituals and protections, most of the time we will be fine. In fact, if you are keeping up with the practices in the next chapter, you will be better than fine, because not only are you protecting yourself from unwanted magical influences, but you are strengthening your mind and spirit in general. There are times, however, that those protections will not be enough and some kind of attack, accidental or intentional, will get through our defenses and affect our health, our luck, and our general well-being. It is not a pleasant experience, but recognizing an attack when it happens is the first step to combating it. 26. Recognizing attack. The first problem that we have is that people generally do not want to admit that an attack is happening. People who don't practice magic are probably more likely to think that they are going crazy than to think that they are under magical attack. Even if they do suspect occult reasons for their troubles, they won't want to tell anyone for fear of not being believed or earning a reputation as mentally unbalanced. Sometimes even magicians have a hard time admitting that they are under attack. Many tend to overestimate their abilities or think that whatever regular protections they use are infallible. It is an ego blow to admit that someone or something could get to us, and so we convince ourselves otherwise. This is particularly true if you are in a leadership or teaching position in a magical group, where you may fear people will not see you as qualified if you admit to being the victim of an attack. I know a priestess with 30 years of practice under her belt who was attacked a few years back by her lover's ex-wife. I don't want to paint the tradition the ex-wife followed as evil, because it is not, but it is safe to say that it would be not uncommon in that tradition to curse someone out of jealousy. My priestess friend fell severely ill, lost her job, lost her students, and damn near lost her house. She had all the signs of psychic attack, even a very probable source with a motive, but refused to recognize it because she thought of herself as an accomplished witch who was beyond the touch of someone else's curse. She eventually came around, and things are getting better for her. In general, I think it's good to keep two things in mind. The first is that no one is impervious to psychic attack of some kind. Basic 27 protection and reversal magic banishings, shields, and amulets will protect you from most accidental psychic attacks and general malefic energies that you may encounter. They will even protect you from most intentional magical attacks, but no technique is foolproof. No matter what level of initiation you possess and how powerful you think you are not impervious and should bear that in mind. The second thing to keep in mind is that there is no harm in defending against an attack that may not be happening, but great harm can come from ignoring a real attack that you tell yourself isn't happening. Play it on the safe side. Of course, just as there are people who read medical textbooks and convinced themselves that they have every disease in the book, there will be psychic hypochondriacs who read this book and fantasize that they are under attack for no reason. In fact, there are some people who seem to think that they are constantly under attack. These people may come to you seeking help, but they are easy to spot. There is usually an inverse relationship between the insistence that someone is being magically attacked and the probability that they actually are. Whether due to actual delusion or just a desire to add a bit of drama to their lives through playing out psychic soap operas, these folks are best avoided. You may not be able to tell who these folks are at first, but you will soon realize their pattern when they keep coming back complaining of new attacks from unknown black lodges and dark magicians. Of course, none of these groups would have any reason to spend energy attacking this person, except for the sheer evil of it, which seems like a good enough reason to the hypochondriac. If you run into these folks, you can offer them a simple cleansing or some shielding instructions. Perhaps an amulet just in case, but they usually keep coming back again and again. These folks are best let 28 recognizing attack down gently by doing divinations and declaring that you can't help them because you cannot detect the source of an attack. You aren't outright contradicting their beliefs, just saying that you aren't in a position to help. Symptoms of attack. When it does happen, spiritual attack can manifest its symptoms in numerous ways and varying strength. I divide symptoms into 3 basic categories: external conditions, mental conditions, and physical conditions. External conditions. Attacks of this nature affect the probabilities of events, or luck, in a person's life, creating what is known as crossed conditions. This often starts by a mild feeling of being out of step with time, as if you can no longer manage to be in the right place at the right time. No matter what you do, you find that you can't seem to get anywhere on time. This can be accompanied by patterns of bad luck, and of everything you touch going wrong. Not just one fender bender in your car, but several in the space of a few days. Things breaking apart in your hands or falling when you try to grab them are common symptoms as well. People don't seem to have any patience with you. Unexpected bills start piling up and you can't seem to hang on to money. Left alone, things get worse. You lose your job, your lover leaves you, you wreck the car, you are blamed for something you didn't do, and perhaps even wind up in jail or worse. The possibilities of what can happen are limited only by the power of the person or power launching the attack, and how long you let it go on. 29 Protection and Reversal Magic. Just recently I received 3 traffic tickets, all within 2 weeks. This was after many years of never getting pulled over. A few other things had been going wrong as well, and I started to suspect something was wrong. After some readings and careful thought, I discovered that it was an accidental attack by someone for whom I refused to do a favor. I did a simple uncrossing, and the problem corrected itself, but the person was strong enough of a psychic that their ill-wishing got through my normal defenses. If I hadn't acted, the cross conditions could have grown much worse. Almost everything that happens will have a completely rational and material explanation. Taken alone, they don't mean anything. Taken together, a long string of unfortunate coincidences should be a good indicator that something is amiss. This is especially true if these external conditions are accompanied by some of the mental and physical symptoms listed here. Mental condition: Santera I know was having problems with her neighbor being loud and obnoxious at all hours of the night and leaving garbage on her lawn. She asked her madrina, her teacher, what she should do. The madrina told her to make a doll that looked like the neighbor, blindfold it, tie its arms and legs, and nail it to the tree in her yard facing her neighbor's front door. My friend was a bit shocked and said, "Good Lord, I don't want to hurt him. What will happen?" "Nothing," replied her madrina, "but it will scare the living crap out of him." A few days after my friend followed her madrina's instruction, the neighbor came over, begging forgiveness and swearing up and down that he was experiencing the worst couple days of his life. 30 Recognizing attack people who do not believe in the power of magic to affect the world, yet are faced with the reports of anthropologists and who observe that curses often do seem to work, try to explain it away as power of suggestion. The claim is that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you know that someone has cursed you, as in the case of the Santera, your mind will react in such a way that will fulfill the curse. There is some truth to this. Suggestion is a powerful thing, and if you can convince someone that they are under attack, they can manifest powerful symptoms. In fact, I have found that when people are very publicly and verbally cursed, there is rarely any ritual or spell to back it up. The reason for this isn't that curses don't work, however, it's that if someone really wants to launch a genuine magical attack against you, they won't tip you off about it. Most magical and psychic attacks manifest mental symptoms in their targets. I mentioned previously the feeling of being out of step with time as being a precursor to crossed conditions. There are other more serious mental symptoms that can arise as well. Some attacks, such as telepathic or hypnotic attacks, may have only mental effects. Coercive attacks that aren't geared at causing harm, but at getting you to do or not do certain things against your better judgment also have primarily mental effects. The fact that the symptoms are mental does not mean that they are any less dangerous or magical. By far the most common mental symptom is a feeling of despair, oppression, anxiety, and fear without any identifiable cause. Inexplicable confusion or moments where you cannot focus are common. Troubled dreams are also a sign of attack. In some cases where a spirit or artificial elemental is the agent of the attack, the target may feel that he is constantly being followed. The 31 Protection and Reversal Magic may hear voices when alone, see shadows and outlines of things that aren't there, and even smell scents that have no source. Smell is one of my strongest psychic areas. and I sometimes smell a hint of sulfur or rot as a first indicator of attack. Although I list this as a mental symptom, because there is no physical basis for the sensation, that doesn't mean that the sights, sounds, and smells don't seem real as anything else. Indeed, those with the ability to see may perceive much more than just the outlines and impressions of spirits. In cases where coercive magic is being used to influence your actions, either through hypnosis, telepathic control, or a spell, you may experience uncharacteristic compulsions, affinities, or aversions to things that you never did before. It is very difficult to notice this on your own because the mind tends to justify these feelings as natural, but if friends and loved ones are saying that you are acting out of character, then you should at least take a few moments and consider what they have to say. There is an old example of a hypnotist who plants the suggestion in a subject to take off his shirt or jump into the lake when he hears a certain command. After doing so, the target always explains that it was hot and really it isn't such a strange thing to do. It is only after the hypnotist plays the tape of the suggestion being planted that the subject thinks he even did anything strange. The mind is amazing at making even the strangest things seem normal. Because all of our actions are, by and large, influenced to one extent or another by outside factors, there is a fine line between what constitutes regular influence, reasonable magical influence, and a psychic attack. A good analogy that Dion Fortune 2 makes is that normal influence is akin to someone ringing a doorbell by pressing the button from the outside, and an attack is like lifting up the floorboards and pulling the bell wires themselves. 32. Recognizing attack. Stepping aside from the occult for just a moment, companies and salespeople are now making use of very advanced coercive techniques such as subliminal messages and neurolinguistic programming to influence your will. Some of this is fair, but in my opinion some of it amounts to as much of an attack as if they had done sorcery against you. Indeed, if you think that this isn't a type of sorcery, then you should take another look. The techniques that this book will teach to defend against psychic intrusion can also help avert the aggressive techniques used in sales and advertising as well. Many of the mental signs of attack listed previously are also symptoms of mental neurosis. I want to make it very clear that people struggling with depression, schizophrenia, anxiety, ADD, or any other psychological problem should not substitute the magical defenses in this book for regular therapy and psychological treatment. The degree to which the occult overlaps into conventional psychology is an interesting topic, but one beyond the scope of this book, and beyond my expertise. There will likely not be any harm in using the methods in this book alongside of conventional treatments, but under no circumstances should they replace medical treatment. Physical condition. There can also be physical symptoms associated with an attack. Headaches are a common early warning. Headaches where the scalp feels stretched too thin over the skull are particularly indicative of an attack. Sometimes when we lay down to sleep, these aches will gather to one side of the head, indicating the direction from which the attack is coming. After headaches, fatigue would be the next most common indication. This is particularly true in cases of parasitic and vampiric 33 protection and reversal magic attacks. In parasitic cases, someone of weak constitution and energy psychically drains someone who possesses higher vitality. This is most often unintentional and occurs commonly between family members or close friends, particularly when one is in the position of caring for the other, thus giving rise to the old adage that the caregiver goes first. In actual vampiric attacks, the attack is usually intentional and there exists a whole corpus of occult teachings on vampiric magic. The first type of vampire is a living person who draws vitality from other people, willing or not, and adds that to their own power. Nowadays, this has become something of a counter-cultural lifestyle choice, and one can find many books on how to practice vampirism. The second type is a bit closer to the vampire of legend in that physical death has occurred, but, through special means, the person has managed to fight off the astral decay, or second death, and sustain his etheric form by feeding on living people. When I was traveling through Budapest, I was told about Magyar sorcerers who specialized in this type of magic. They would attach their spirits to living people and remain dormant during the day. At night they would leave the host in an etheric or quasi-physical form and feed. I have never seen them, but, according to the literature, you can actually spot small, almost microscopic wounds where the vampire attacks. Fatigue is also common in cases where the target has been handed over to the dead. This is famous in Haitian Vodou, where it is called an expedition mort. There are many ways to do it, but typically something of yours is placed in the grave of a spirit willing to do the work, and an element from that grave, usually dirt, is planted on your home. The idea being that you have entered the sphere of the dead, and the dead have entered the sphere of the living. This first 34 recognizing attack manifests a terrible fatigue, which eventually leads to an overall breakdown. You find that you cannot stay awake, even though you have had a full night's sleep. When you are in bed, your sleep is so troubled that you get no rest. Left without treatment, the curse could lead to death. When spirits are used in an attack, or when they are themselves on the attack, as in a haunting, the most common complaint I have heard is of a weight on the chest when sleeping. This is sometimes called hag riding and occurs so commonly that there has recently been a study of the phenomena by a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. 3. Sometimes feelings of sexual aggression accompany this sensation. It is also not unheard of to develop bruises from being attacked during the night. I have witnessed these bruises arise without physical cause when keeping vigil over a friend one night about 10 years ago. A sudden but persistent illness can also be the result of an attack. From a sudden but simple flu, to serious cancer, to completely undiagnosable illnesses, curses have the power to affect the physical shell directly. In all these cases, medical attention should be sought, if only to treat the symptom while your occult defense treats the cause. In very potent attacks by powerful forces, medical events such as heart attacks and aneurysms can be the result of psychic attack, but these instances are exceedingly rare. Loss of sexual interest and impotency can be the result of a jinx by a jealous or jilted lover. Spells for taking away, sexual in nature, exist in almost all types of folk magic around the world, as do methods of restoring that nature. 35. Protection and reversal magic. Stopped up bowels are also a favorite form of attack, as evidenced in such spell books as Albertus Magnus's Egyptian Secrets 4 and the Icelandic Galderbach. In fact, when I was just starting to learn root working in my teens, something was stolen from me, and I announced generally that whoever stole it would be cursed in a most unpleasant way. Perhaps it was wrong of me, but I gathered an appropriate link to the person I suspected stole from me, and used an old hoodoo ritual to stop up his bowels. The item was returned shortly thereafter, and I was told by a mutual friend that the spell had achieved its desired intent. Omens and warnings. Apart from the actual symptoms of an attack, there are omens to watch for, first among them being dreams. The oniric realm is where our deep mind tries to communicate with the rest of the self. I will say right here that I put absolutely no stock in dictionaries of dream symbolism. Each of us have our own peculiar symbol set that the deep mind makes use of in dreams. A serpent in one man's dreams will indicate danger, but to a Nephidian sorcerer like myself, it would be an excellent omen indeed. Rather than a list of symbols to watch for, I recommend looking at the overall content and character. Were you being persecuted? Pursued? Were loved ones turning their backs on you? Did you feel trapped? These are all dreams that might indicate that you were under attack. When I was suffering from the unintentional attack that I spoke of earlier, I had a strange dream that I was naked in the witness chair in a court where the judge was Rush Limbaugh. Silly as this was, the dream gave me the shivers and was one large indication that I was under attack. If you feel that you are or may be under attack, 36. Recognizing attack. Watch your dreams. If you are talented at oniric magic, you can sometimes divine the name of the culprit from the dream itself. Watching animals is another sign. How do they react to you? Are you finding yourself encountering more chthonic creatures such as spiders or snakes? Has anything died in your yard? Years ago, while working on behalf of a client that was under attack, a hawk died and landed right in the area where I held my circles in the yard. These and other strange occurrences should all be looked for in cases of suspected attack. There are ways that a sorcerer can set up early warning systems to alert himself of an attack before it gets very serious. The first and easiest method is to have a plant or two in each room of the house. If you are under magical attack, it is almost a guarantee that the plants will suffer first. For this reason, many witches keep live plants all over the house. A classic warning of attack is to keep some silver in your shoe and around your neck. Silver dimes with holes drilled through them are famous for this in the southern United States. It is said that if you are under attack, the silver will turn black. This belief actually has some root in science, as most types of curse powders and materials such as gopher dust make use of sulfur, which turns silver black. Keeping a fresh egg on the altar can not only help indicate an attack, but absorb some of it as well. Like the plants, an egg will take the hit of negative energy for you and go bad quickly or even break in the event of an attack. You should also keep an eye on your amulets. When protective amulets break or get lost, it is a sign that their protection has been 37 protection and reversal magic breached. I always hang the Moroccan blue glass Amza amulet to protect against the evil eye from my rear view window. A few days before I started getting those traffic tickets that I mentioned earlier in the chapter, the amulet broke. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but if I had been quick with the reading, I might have avoided getting those tickets. Tie penis amulets that guard against impotence and are worn on a cord around the waist are another example of this. If the cord breaks, it is a sign of attack. This collection of symptoms is by no means exhaustive. There is an endless variety of attacks that can be launched at just as many symptoms that can occur. What is important to realize is that, taken individually, everything that happens may have a logical, real-world explanation. When many of these symptoms and events all occur within a short time, however, it is a good indicator of a genuine attack. Remember to err on the side of caution, and do not ignore the symptoms when they occur. 38 Chapter 2 Daily Practices. Serious practitioners of magic do magic every day. Not spell work necessarily, but something that clears the mind, fortifies the spirit, and gives some protection against assaulting forces. Before we concern ourselves with defending against specific attacks, we should first develop a regimen of regular practice that will strengthen our natural defenses so that minor assaults are automatically deflected and so that we can keep ourselves grounded and centered in any more serious situation that may arise. Just as a triangle is the most stable structure in buildings, I recommend the daily practice that covers 3 essential points that will assist in keeping you free and clear of psychic attack. Those 3 points are meditation, vanishing, and offering. 39. Protection and reversal. Magic meditation keeps the mind clear during stressful times and can by itself fend off many types of mental attacks. Vanishing rituals clear the personal aura and free your home from negative energies and hostile spirits. Offerings serve to build a good relationship with the environment and serve as an olive branch to malevolent spirits that are attacking in retribution for human actions that upset the spiritual environment. Meditation. It should be immediately apparent that one needs to keep one's head amidst any type of attack, occult or otherwise. In a magical attack, which can cause symptoms such as paranoia, depression, and other mental distress, it becomes even more vital that you are able to control your mind and cut off these symptoms, at least long enough to launch a defense or to seek help. If I had to give up all my spiritual practices except one, I would keep meditation as that one practice. If you only take one thing away from this book and put it into practice, it should be the meditation instructions. The word meditation means many things to many people. To some it is a focusing of thought on a single pressing issue, to others it is laying back and relaxing to a soothing CD, to others it is ecstatic prayer. All these things can technically be called meditation, because the word itself has such a broad meaning. They are not, however, what I mean by meditation. For our purposes here, we can define meditation as a process for alleviating the grasping at thoughts and cutting through mental distractions. This grasping and distraction is sometimes referred to as the monkey mind. The term monkey mind refers to the 40 daily practices way in which our minds tend to behave mechanistically and simply react to the push and pull of cause and effect, rather than make decisions from a position of pure consciousness and true will. The genetics you inherit, the way you were raised, the friends you keep, what you watch on TV, what you eat and drink, your fight or flight reflex, the conversation you just had, and countless other factors all have sway over the generation of thoughts and reactions. Every moment, our thoughts are impacted by countless factors that have nothing to do with our real consciousness or true will. Almost every action that most people make is a mechanical response to one or more of these factors. Meditation is a way to cut through all these factors and reveal the primordial awareness that lies underneath the monkey mind and can act unchained by these causes and conditions. For example, if you were to come home and find your living room windows broken, you would probably be upset. If, however, you won $1 million in the lottery and then found the broken windows, you probably wouldn't be as upset because the good mood generated by winning the lottery would overwhelm the feelings of anger generated by the broken windows. Similarly, if you came home to find the broken windows after drinking the triple espresso, your reaction might be more severe than if you had drunk a chamomile tea instead. If we master meditation and cut through our ingrained patterns of grasping and aversion, we could choose how to react in this or any situation regardless of the circumstances leading up to it. In Tibet, this pure awareness is described as being mirror-like. If you look at a mirror that is reflecting flowers, we cut through our patterns and can act as we will, rather than as we are programmed to. There are many types of meditation, and it is a topic worth studying in depth, but as this is a book specifically about magical defense, we should only detail a single type of meditation focused on the breath. The breath itself is said to be a mantra that everyone says 26,000 times a day. It requires no special equipment, no outward sign that you are meditating at all, so you can do it anywhere at any time. This is important because in order to benefit from meditation, you must do it every day, preferably several times a day. In a situation where you feel under psychic attack at work or in a social situation, you can meditate your way to clarity without giving any outward sign that you are doing anything out of the ordinary. Before we meditate, we should adopt a proper posture, or asana. There are many asanas, and you can consult a book on yoga or meditation for their descriptions. Probably the most famous asana is the Padmasana, or full lotus. Most people, however, find this position very difficult to maintain for long, and so I recommend the Siddhasana instead, which is a sort of half lotus. There are 5 points to this asana. The first is accomplished by bringing in the left foot in it as close to the body as possible and then bringing the right foot in either on top of or 42 daily practices in front of the left leg. I also recommend a cushion under the buttocks to elevate the torso, which helps the knees rest on the ground, forming a stable tripod. The second point, which is the most essential, is to hold the back straight. To make sure that the back is straight, you should reach your hands up to the sky, then lower your arms without moving your torso. This will get the back as straight as possible. Tilting the head very slightly forward straightens out the very last bit of the spine. The third point concerns the hands. There are several ways that you can do this, and the first is to connect the thumbs to the index fingers and lay the hands, palms up, on the knees. Another is to lay the left hand in the lap, palm up, and lay the right on top of it, palm up, then connect the thumbs. There are many other hand mudras that can be used, but all of them do the same thing. Connect the energy circuits of the body, nadis, and get the energy, prana, to flow into the central channel. 1. The fourth point is to hold the tongue just behind the top front teeth. This connects a circuit of energy that runs up the back and down the front of the body. The fifth point concerns the eyes. You can meditate with the eyes open or closed, and you should experiment to find which is best for you. If you close the eyes completely, the advantage is that you shut out visual stimuli, but for some people this only gives their imagination a blank screen on which distracting thoughts can take shape. If you meditate with the eyes open, you may be open to more distractions, but less likely to give yourself over to fantasies during the meditation. If you do keep your eyes open, you should focus them on a point about an arm's length from you, and focus with the intensity that you would 43 protection and reversal magic have if you were threading a needle. If you can manage to focus on empty space, that is best, but if not, you can let your eyes settle on any spot or object. Though all these points are traditional, and will help keep the energies of the body stable during meditation and cut down on distraction, the only really essential point is to keep the back straight. If your knees bother you, or even if you just prefer it, you can use a chair rather than sitting on the floor. Simply sit normally, with your back as straight as possible. If the chair back is straight, then you can lean against it, but the spine should be as straight as you can comfortably make it. If you are in a social situation and meditating on the fly, then you should feel free to just straighten the spine as much as possible and keep the eyes as focused without drawing attention. Whatever position you take, begin your session by taking 3 deep breaths and release all tension and thoughts of the past, present, and future. Breathe slowly and naturally. Allow your awareness to become consumed in the breath. Do not watch it from outside like a cat watching a mouse, but rather feel that you are your breath. Identify your breath as the seat of your consciousness. Flow in and flow out. Fixate the mind single-pointedly on the breath at the exclusion of all else. The past is a memory. The future is a projection. The present disappears before it can be grasped. Dwell in the breath. If you are like most people, you will find that distractions arise nearly instantly. Once you recognize that you have left the meditation and are distracted with a train of thought, you should simply return to the breath without chastising or criticizing yourself. In fact, you should have no expectation whatsoever about how well your meditation goes. 44 daily practices lust for a result is the biggest obstacle to meditation. Recognize that thoughts emanate from nothing and dissipate into nothing. Rest in the breath and in primordial awareness. In all likelihood, you will at first spend most of your meditation session doing little but being distracted, recognizing it, and returning to the breath only to be distracted again. Many of my students who find themselves in this situation claim that they can't meditate and give up. What they don't realize is that they are meditating. They are training their minds to recognize when it is not acting according to their will, and bringing it back from distraction. Think about how valuable that is. After a few weeks of practice, you will notice that you have more control over your mind. You will be able to focus better. You will not give into anger as easily. Over time, you will learn more about yourself than you can imagine. In a situation of psychic attack, you will be able to recognize the symptoms and cut them off at the root simply by centering in on pure awareness. Do not shoot for long sessions right away. Start with just 10 minutes in the morning right after you get up, and 10 minutes right before bed. You will never have an excuse about not being able to have the time to meditate because you can almost always steal 10 minutes from sleep without it affecting you at all. These 2 10-minute sessions should be tied together by lots of meditative moments throughout the day, a minute or so of focusing on the breath and cutting through distraction. This can be done anywhere at any time, at your desk, in a restaurant, or on the toilet are all acceptable places. If you practice in this way, you will definitely see a difference in your life in a relatively short period of time. 45 Protection and Reversal Magic Banishing Rituals. Banishing rituals are short daily rituals for grounding and centering, connecting with the divine, defining sacred space, and clearing away discursive spirits and forces. The most famous example is a ritual taught by the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn called the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, LBRP. In that order, the LBRP was considered so important you would do this ritual at least once a day for a year before learning anything further. Other similar rites include Aleister Crowley's Star Ruby, and Theoram Solis's Rousing of the Citadels. In Tibet, there are many formulas for making a Sem's core, or mind circle, to accomplish the same thing. Time spent researching and experimenting with these different rituals will not be wasted. The following ritual, the Sphere of Hekaz, is a fairly simple banishing designed by me and based upon material derived from my contact with the goddess Hecate. Rituals involving her will appear throughout the book, and make a sort of Hecadian arcana in and of themselves. 2. I am not making any claims to this ritual being more effective than any other, and invite the reader to learn several banishing rites so they can choose the one that is right for them. The Sphere of Hekaz Part 1. Conjuring the column. Begin by standing and facing east. Imagine that you are at the very center of the universe. I don't mean to imagine that you have left your room and are now somewhere out in space, 46 daily practices, but rather that the very place that you stand is the center of the entire universe. Just as from our perspective here on Earth, it seems that the sun revolves around us, but from a larger perspective, it is revealed that the Earth revolves around the sun. You should consider that from an even larger perspective, you are at the very center of the universe and the whole thing revolves around you. Take a deep inhalation and imagine that above you, emanating from the highest heavens, descends a column of pure white light. This light enters the crown of your head and passes through you, down into the ground. This white light has the qualities of purification and centering. Exhale and intone the following. DECENDAT Columba. The Descent of the Dove. Take another deep inhalation and imagine that a reddish-colored light from beneath you rises through the column and passes through you upwards. Whereas the white light was purifying, this light is vitalizing. Exhale and intone the following. ASCENDAT Serpents. The Ascent of the Serpent. Inhale again and feel the two energies entering into you from above and below. Exhale and feel the two energies flow throughout your body, impregnating every cell of your being with their power. Feel your connection between earth and sky, underworld and heavens. 47 Protection and Reversal Magic with your right hand. Point at your third eye and intone, I-E. Move your right hand over your heart and open your hand so that your palm faces your chest and intone, A-Ah. Move your hand lower over your genitals and turn the palm upwards, connecting the thumb and forefinger. Intone, O-O. This portion of the right grounds, centers, purifies, and empowers you so that you are in a proper position to exercise authority over the forces that you wish to banish. The dove and the serpent are universal symbols of chthonic and auranic forces. By conjuring the column, you take in the totality of all that is, above and below. As the magus Aleister Crowley once noted, adepts stand with their heads above the highest heavens and their feet below the lowest hells. 3 After the column, you invoke the divine by the ancient formula of IAO.4. This formula is sometimes said to be a Greek way of saying YHVH, Yehu or Jehovah, but in reality is much older than that. In Greek, the 7 vowels all equate to planets. In this case, I equals the sun, A equals the moon, and O, Greek capital letter Omega, equals Saturn. Thus, Io represents the whole spectrum of spheres, Moon through Saturn, ruled by the Helios, the Sun. It can also be seen as an abbreviation of all the vowel sounds strung together. A powerful shamanic formula representing totality of the universe. 5 Part 2, delineating the boundaries still standing within the column, pronounced to the powers that be. 48 daily practices. HEKASHEKASSTBEBELOI. Away, all the profane, Make a fist with your left hand and place it against your chest over your heart. Cover it with your right hand and apply about 5 pounds of pressure there, and imagine that the force that you summon forth from the column begins to concentrate at the heart. Imagine that this power, drawn by the physical pressure and force of will, takes the shape of a gray sphere about the size of a baseball. Visualize this until you have it very clear in your mind. Release the pressure, and in one motion step forward with your left foot and throw your arms outward in what is called the sign of the Enterer. As you make the sign, see the sphere at your heart grow. As it grows and spreads, it pushes back all malefic forces and harmful spirits. It grows past your body and continues until it stops where you wish to make the boundary, forming a wall of grayish astral force. Intone GYRUMCARPO. I seize the circle. Take your wand or atom in your hand, and extend your arm straight out. The tip of the tool, or your finger, when working without tools, should touch the edge of the circle that you want to make. If you have extended the circle past the walls of the room that you are in, then you can simply point towards the edge. Pivot, or walk the edge of your circle and intone the following: 49 protection and reversal magic CONSECRO at BENEDICOISTUMCIRCULUM sit MIHI at omnibuscutum at PROTUCTI day 40 CME HEKATINVICIVILE. I consecrate and bless this circle that it may be to me and all a shield and protection in the name of the most powerful invincible goddess. Hekate, consider that the sphere is an invisible and impenetrable fortress surrounding you, keeping out all harmful forces and spirits of ill intent. Part 3. Invoking the Guardians. The last section of the ritual invokes 4 guardians to the 4 corners of our sphere. Before I give the instructions for this section of the rite, I want to say a word about these particular guardians. The guardians invoked in this ritual are spirits that were revealed to me by Hekate directly and are bound by her as protective spirits. Their names are Blaig, Parham, Burmidi, and Dimulgali. They have been called upon successfully by myself and the small circle of sorcerers who I have shared this ritual with, and have proven to be powerful protectors. They can, however, be replaced with quarter guardians of your choice, such as the 4 Judeo-Christian archangels, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and Uriel, or perhaps the spirits of the 4 winds, Notus, Zephyrus, Boreas, and Eurus. Sets of quadruple guardians are very prevalent throughout the world. 50 daily practices face east and visualize a Blaig standing at the eastern edge of the circle facing the center. He has the body of a man and the head of a bull that is snorting and breathing wildly. In his hands he holds 2 scimitars, which he clashes together in a threatening manner. Make the gesture of conjuring and invoke ORKIZOABAEK. Bull-headed guardian of the east, remember your vow and fill the throne which has been set for you. Consider that the throne, your visualization, has been filled by a Blaig and see him now turn around to face the outside of the circle. Face south and visualize Parham standing at the southern edge of the circle facing the center. He has the body of a man and the head of a horse that is breathing fire. His 2 hands hold a large ebony trident. Make the gesture of conjuring and invoke ORKIZOPYRHUM. Horse-headed guardian of the south, remember your vow and fill the throne which has been set for you. Consider that the throne, your visualization, has been filled by Parham and see him now turn around to face the outside of the circle. Face west and visualize Armini standing at the western edge of the circle facing the center. She has the torso of a woman, 51 protection and reversal magic, and the head and lower body of a serpent. Her hands hold a net and a skull cup, which overflows with boiling blood. Make the gesture of conjuring and invoke ORKIZOERMITI. Serpentine guardian of the west, remember your vow and fill the throne which has been set for you. Consider that the throne, your visualization, has been filled by Armidi and see her now turn around to face the outside of the circle. Face north and visualize Dimgali standing at the northern edge of the circle facing the center. She has the torso of a woman and the head of a black dog. In her left hand she holds a whip, and in her left she holds adamantine shackles. Make the gesture of conjuring and invoke ORKIZODINGALI. Bitch-headed guardian of the North, remember your vow and fill the throne which has been set for you. Consider that the throne, your visualization, has been filled by Dimgali and see her now turn around to face the outside of the circle. Part 4. Closing. You have grounded and centered yourself and connected with the earth and the heavens. You have swept away obstructing 52 daily practices energies from your area and created a psychic barrier around you. You have invoked guardian spirits in the 4 directions. All that remains is to close the right. Take a single deep breath and bring your hands together in front of your heart, as if you are praying. PROCULHINC PROCULITE PROFANI Pranam INADATISSIMIIO. Away, all the profane in the name of the most powerful IO. The wording of this rite is not all that important. I have used some Latin because it is one of the magical languages and can give the ritual a feel that English may not, but if for some reason you are not comfortable with it, the general form of the rite can be followed using the English translation or some other appropriate words of similar meaning. The ritual instructions may seem long, but once memorized, the whole rite takes about 5 minutes to perform. Whatever banishing you choose, it should be done every day, preferably twice a day, as the effectiveness of rites such as this tends to last through either sunset or sunrise. Offerings. The last point of the triad of daily practice is the making of offerings. Whereas the banishing ritual seeks to keep danger at bay by force, offerings are a pacifying practice that protects by offering an olive branch 53 protection and reversal magic to hostile spirits and elemental forces. As stated before, the way in which we humans live can sometimes have a negative impact on the spiritual dimension, causing local guardians and forces to act against us in retribution. A large part of the shaman's role in traditional cultures deals with mending these harmful breaches and smoothing out the relationship between this world and the next. By making offerings, we are sending a signal to those forces that any breaches such as building or trampling on power spots and polluting the air and water were accidental, and that we are attempting to make reparations. Apart from the value that offerings have in deterring cross conditions and attacks, they are a potent means of gaining spiritual allies and aiding your sorcery to manifest materially. If you establish a regular practice of making offerings to the powers that be, you will find the universe all too willing to aid you in your witchcraft because of the bonds you have formed through the power of offering. As to what is offered, there are many types of offerings that can be made, both physical and emanated from the mind. I do not mean to undercut the importance of physical offerings, but the first thing that one finds after making a physical offering to the spirits is that in a few hours, the stuff is still there physically. Though it is said that some rare and powerful spirits can manifest physically and devour their offerings, most beings feed upon the subtle essence of the physical offerings rather than the substance itself. The exception to this is burned substances of fumigation. There are many spirits who can take nourishment directly from the smoke produced by burnt herbs, plants, and woods. Even if you use solid physical offerings such as cakes and alcohol, you can increase the power of the offering by mentally multiplying these offerings through force of will and seeing them fill infinite space. 54 daily practices offerings need not always be done ceremoniously or formally. You can leave a dime or some whiskey on a grave, lay some flowers or pour some water near a tree or plant, or burn some incense in the backyard and mentally offer it to the 10 directions. Acts of generosity like this, no matter how small, serve to build up a good relationship with the spiritual forces around your home and wherever you travel. If you do want to make a formal ritual offering, the following is a ritual that is short enough to be done regularly, if not daily. The rite rewards protectors and familiars who have worked on your behalf and pacifies those spirits that would cause obstacles and harm to you and those under your protection. This rite speaks to elemental and spirit forces. The potential to make this a more elaborate offering ritual geared at specific classes of spirits exists, but care should be taken as to what is offered. Certain spirits can be offended if the wrong type of offering is made. For instance, in some Afro-Caribbean traditions, an offering of salt will upset the dead, and in the Himalayas offerings of meat will enrage the Nagas. In the future I hope to publish a more detailed book on the classes of spirits and offerings traditional to each. In the meantime, if you want to make more elaborate offerings to specific types of beings, let research, omens, and dreams guide you in your efforts. In the following rite, the physical support for the offerings will be some incense or burnt wood such as juniper or sandalwood. If you are doing the rite outside, you can add to this some water, tea, or whiskey to spill on the ground as a libation. Because you are making offerings to spirits that may initially be hostile to you, I recommend staying away from herbs that aid in the manifestation of spirits such as Dittany of Crete of Mulliine. I call the incense a physical support 55 protection and reversal magic because you will be feeding that incense with energy directly, visualizing it filling all space, and willing it to take on whatever shape is most pleasing to the recipient. Take your incense and your libation, if you have one, and arrange them on an altar or table. Don't light the incense yet. Part 1. Purification of the offerings. Hold your hands over the offerings, forming the triangle of manifestation between your hands. Say the following: by earth, the body of the gods; by water, their flowing blood; by air, the breath of the gods; by fire, their burning soul. May these offerings be made blessed and made pure. As you say this, consider that any impurities in the offerings are washed, blown, and burned away. Part 2. Inviting the guests. IOEVOHE. IO demons. Daemons EVOHE. Spirits of the firmament of earth and of ether, spirits of the dry land and of the flowing water, spirits of the whirling air and of rushing fire. Come. 56 daily practices. Phantoms of the dead that quicken in between, to those whom I owe debt, and who owes debt unto me. Famulus and guardians who are bound unto me. Come. Every dryad, slith, and satyr who dwells within this place, every undine and salamander, every fey and gnomish spirit, every succubi and incubi, every specter of ill will come. All spirits who cause help or harm in response to human action, come here according to your desires. Be seated on the thrones. IOEVOHE. Come. Part 3. Making the offering. Light the incense. Give the sign of offering, which is done by rubbing your palms together several times until they become hot. Then turn your palms upward, and, as the heat leaves your hands, imagine that clouds of offerings flow from them and mingle with the incense smoke, filling all space. Clouds of offerings, I give to you food and drink and fumigation. Enjoy. 57 protection and reversal magic. Let the offerings arise and pervade all space. Let it take the form that is most desired. Enjoy. Friends and family from former lives, I am grateful to commune with the 58 daily practices. Part 4. License to depart. Honored guests of this temple, the window of our communion is closing. Take your last taste of these enjoyments and go in peace. Vacate the thrones of the feast and go forth unto your abodes and habitations as you desire. Forever act as friends and helpers. So mote it be. These 3 practices of meditation, banishing, and offering should all become regular parts of your magical regimen. The ideal would be to do all 3 every day, meditation and banishings perhaps twice a day. This seems like a lot, but really it isn't much time at all, especially after you learn the rituals by heart. If you cannot do them or similar practices daily, then you should at least shoot to meditate and banish 3 or 4 times a week and perform offerings at least once a week. 59 blank page. Chapter 3. Personal protection. After establishing a regular regimen of meditation, offering, and banishing, you will find yourself much more grounded, clear, and aware than you were previously. Most attacks and intrusions against your peace will roll right off of you. There will, however, be times when you need to address a situation directly and with stronger force than just your regular banishing rituals. You may also find yourself in the position of helping a non-practitioner who has no regular spiritual practice to clear away crossed conditions and attacks, in which case you will need to employ some of the specific protection rituals that follow. Shields during times of crossed conditions and psychic distress. It is vital that you be extra diligent with the regular meditations, offerings, and 61. Protection and reversal magic banishings that were taught in the previous chapter. You may also want to supplement them with an additional layer of protection, which is where the shield comes in. Shields require no equipment other than your own will and imagination, and thus are the first line of defense when you feel attacked. Shields can be helpful not only against occult dangers, but also in psychological attacks from annoying coworkers, overzealous salespeople, brutal bosses, and any other disgruntled people who you may encounter. Shields are also an excellent way of protecting yourself from negative influences that may be present in a place without actually banishing away those influences. This may be desirable if you find yourself in certain power spots with hostile guardians or in a house where very negative people live. A shield is created in a manner similar to how you conjure the sphere in the banishing ritual from Chapter 2. Begin by calling to mind the column of energy connecting you to the heavens and to the earth. As this is more of a psychic technique than a ritual, there is no need for words. Simply see the column descend from the heavens, passing through you down into the earth, and feel the vital current arise from the earth into you. As you inhale, feel the power from above and below flow into you. As you exhale, feel that energy move throughout your body, impregnating every cell of your body with power. Make a fist with your left hand and place it over your heart. Cover it 62 personal protection with your right hand and apply about 5 pounds of pressure. As you inhale, feel the power gather at your heart, attracted there by the pressure and your focused will. See a small, gray egg shape gather at your heart. Release the pressure on your chest and feel the egg grow larger, passing through your skin and stopping just at the point that it is roughly 1 to 2 feet away from your physical body. Imagine that the surface of this egg is impenetrable, and that all malign forces will be unable to break its barriers. After the image has been strongly conjured in the mind and you know that the shield is there, simply turn your attention away from it and go about your business. In general, the effects of the shield will wear off in a few hours unless continually fed with imagination and will. If you desire to dissolve the shield before then, simply inhale deeply, then exhale and see the shield dissolve into space. There are several variants on this technique and ways to alter the shield to create different effects. For instance, in some cases rather than protect directly, it may be desirable to confuse or throw your enemies off kilter. In this case, make the shield the same way, but instead of seeing the shield as gray, visualize its surface as swirling colors, like when sunlight hits oil on water. I first started using this confusion shield at a job where there was one particular manager who was very verbally abusive and seemed to be something of an unconscious psychic vampire. He always seemed to walk away from his arguments with a feeling of energy, leaving his targets drained and listless. When 63 protection and reversal magic, I started employing the shield of swirling colors, he would get frustrated and start to lose track of why he was berating me in the first place. He would stumble over his words and get confused about what he wanted, and then he would storm off to his office. Eventually, he left me alone. If you experiment with different visualizations and energetic keys, you will find many different ways in which you can alter the effect of your shield. For instance, you can make shields corresponding to the 4 elements. To do this, rather than drawing in power from the column as discussed on pages 67-68, concentrate on the color and qualities of the element invoked. I will talk more about the elements in a later chapter, but in the meantime you can use the following correspondences. Element COLOR qualities: fire, water, air, earth, red, blue, yellow, brown, hot, dry, and expansive, cool, wet, and fluid, warm, wet, and rapid movement cool, dry, dense, and heavy. Concentrate on the qualities of one of these elements, and, as you inhale, will yourself to breathe in that element from the space around 64 personal protection you. As you exhale, see your body filling up with the element. Then create the shield as before. Place the hand and fist over your heart and see the sphere gather there, but in the color associated with the element. Project it out into an egg around you, and see that energy forming a shell around you. The elemental shield has many uses. Primarily it makes an excellent defense against any attacks by elementals of an opposing element, that is, water versus fire, air versus earth. You can also use the shield to boost certain qualities in you. Earth for grounding and centering, air for intelligence and cunning, water for understanding and wisdom, fire for energy and firm will. The reason that shields appear in this section and not in the regular practice chapter is that whereas a banishing is patterned specifically against harmful powers, a shield works against everyone. Leaving a shield up all the time will tend to cut you off from people. Even those who mean you nothing but good may find you seem distant or unapproachable. Using confusion or elemental shields can cause even stranger reactions. Use them only when you feel that you need them. Invisibility. There are some situations where the best protection is obfuscation rather than confrontation. It may be that you want to withdraw from the chaos of the world for a bit in order to sort out your next move, or that you want not to be noticed while you are laying down your own reversal or counter-magic.1. Whatever the reason, magical invisibility can offer a type of protection that banishing rituals do not. To be clear, this ritual will not actually make you transparent, nor will it make light bend around you or in any way allow you to walk 65 protection and reversal magic around naked amazing people with a disembodied voice and objects that float in space. Magical invisibility conceals your aura and causes people who are not specifically looking for you to not notice you. If someone is looking for you and he bumps into you in the hallway, he will see you just fine, though he may comment on there being something different about you that day. You may also find that those people whom you do interact with forget those interactions afterward. As an example, when I first started Forces Invoked, much worse because someone in the parking lot without seeing my car. The person apologized profusely and swore up and down that he had looked, he just didn't see me. Of course, the reason that invisibility is included in this book isn't to be able to merely avoid uncomfortable situations, but for protection. In the case of a magical attack, particularly one where spirits are employed against you, using invisibility as a defense will have the effect of giving the hostile spirit no one to attack. Eventually, the spirit will return to where it came from. If it was sent by another witch, it will carry with it the curse that was intended for you. If it was just a hostile-natured spirit of some kind, it will simply return to its own habitat. 66 personal protection. The only tool that you will need for this ritual is some incense. If you can use myrrh alone, with frankincense, or with dragon's blood, that is best. If not, then you can use just about any incense that you like. The ritual begins with conjuring the column just like in the banishing ritual from the last chapter. Part 1. Conjuring the column. Begin by standing and facing east. Imagine that you are at the very center of the universe. Take a deep inhalation and imagine that above you, emanating from the highest heavens, descends a column of pure white light. This light enters the crown of your head and passes through you, down into the ground. This white light has the qualities of purification and centering. Exhale and intone the following. DECENDAT Columba. The descent of the dove. Take another deep inhalation and imagine that a reddish-colored light from beneath you rises through the column and passes through you upwards. Whereas the white light was purifying, this light is vitalizing. Exhale and intone the following. ASCENDAT Serpents. The ascent of the serpent. 67 protection and reversal magic. Inhale again and feel the two energies entering into you from above and below. Exhale and feel the two energies flow throughout your body, impregnating every cell of your being with their power. Feel your connection between earth and sky, underworld and heavens. With your right hand, point at your third eye and intone, i.e., move your right hand over your heart and open your hand so that your palm faces your chest and intone, move your hand lower over your genitals and turn the palm upward, connecting the thumb and forefinger. Intone, stand for a moment and meditate on your connection, the earth and sky, the underworld and heavens, and your connection to the divine. Part 2. Occulting the cross quarters. Stand in the center of your temple, or wherever, facing east, and proclaim, Hecate, mother of night, Helios, father of light, cloak me in shadows and smoke that I may pass unseen among men. Take the censer or stick of incense and hold it above your head, moving it in a pattern similar to the infinity sign. Vibrate the name IAO. Move the incense below you so that you are holding it close to the floor. Move it in the same infinity pattern. Vibrate the name OAI. 68 personal protection. Move to the southeast and make the same pattern vibrating AOI. Move to the southwest and make the same pattern vibrating OIA. Move to the northwest and make the same pattern vibrating AIO. Move to the northeast and make the same pattern vibrating IOE. Return to the southeast, completing the circle. Then move back to the center of the temple and place the incense back in its holder. Part 3. Splitting space. Stand in the center of the temple again and recall the feeling that you are at the very center of the universe. Rub your hands together until they are warm, which brings the power into the hands. Keeping your palms together, move your hands forward as if you are moving them into the seam between two curtains. Indeed, you should have it in mind that you are inserting your hands into space itself. Once you have inserted your hands, move them apart as if you were parting the curtains. You may actually be able to feel the pressure of parted space on the backs of your hands as you part them. Once your hands are parted, turn your right palm up and your left palm down. Start moving them again, right hand upward, left hand down, parting another of the 3 dimensions of space. 69 protection and reversal. Magic. Face your right palm forward and your left palm backwards, and move them apart, splitting space around you. Thus you have split all 3 dimensions of space, width, height, and depth, around your body. Place your hands at your sides. Say, by Hecate, the mother of night, by Helios, the father of light, I stand outside of space. I go forth in silence and shadow, so shall it be. Place your right index finger to your lips. This is called the sign of silence, or the sign or Harpocrates. Inhale and imagine that your physical body is empty of tangible substance. Exhale completely and feel yourself blend seamlessly into your surroundings. Hold your breath after the exhale for as long as you comfortably can, and meditate on your removal from normal space. Go forth in silence and shadow.
What steel in my sight. I think I'll be a situation, gonna make it right. In the shadows of darkness, I stand in the light. See, it's our style, to keep it true. I had a bad year, I go through. I've been knocked out, beat down, black and blue. She's not the one coming back for you. She's not the one coming back for you. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. It takes disaster to learn a lesson. You're gonna make it through the darkest night. Some people betray more than class treason. Wanna make everything alright. Woo! Well, the worst of times now, they don't faze me. Even if I look and act really crazy, I won't wait till she betrayed me. Now my vision is no longer hazy. I'm very lucky to have my crew. They stood by me when she flew. I've been knocked down, beat down, black and blue. She's not the one coming back for you. She's not the one coming back for you. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down,
When pulled out of
you don't want me to be too close around you, 'cause I would see all the weak sides that you got, that what you're trying to hide. You know that I would nail you if I could, not my pride. You're on the top when I am low. As soon as you're fading, I will grow. I don't like you, you don't like me. We're like an energy, yeah, we're like an energy, we do. It's a mind game we play. Rule the rules, major cliche. Yeah, one of us is 50, others going insane. And every time we think that possessions will remain. You're on the top when I am low. As soon as you're fading, I will grow. I don't like you, you don't like me. We're like an energy, yeah, we're like an energy. So you got me up against the wall, and I'm only waiting for your fall. I'll get back on top and be carefree. It's not enough for me, no, it's not enough for me. I know we're thinking the same, and our opponent's the one to blame. Thinking this way is not something that we both long for. Living this way is something that we never did plan, but I don't think that would change. 'Cause we're stuck in roles as others and typos. You're on the top when I am low. As soon as you're fading, I will grow. I don't like you, you don't like me. We're like an energy, yeah, we're like an energy. So you got me up against the wall. what's good for you. Wake up, wake up, whoa! Wake up, whoa! A shot to the head, they're better off dead. Will you wake up, whoa! Don't wanna hate you, don't wanna blame it all on you. Out of options. If you don't look, I'll force you to. If you don't look, I'll force you to.